Gun, if you want to play, feel free to sign up. I need to I should have like a drive to push new players at some point. Maybe on the second channel do more new player content. Happy to see you here, Diomed, by the way. Is this thing streaming properly or? There we go. Took a second. Yeah, we should be live now. All right. Sick. And they're playing Lizardmen. Okay. But yeah, happy to have you here. Sophie, hello. Glitter, may I humbly suggest that we do some non-tryharding streams. At some point I want to. But right now I kind of want to try out this series and see how it goes. You've become addicted to Clan Molder Skaven. They are one of the top Skaven factions. I think Ikiclaw is generally more beloved. But honestly, Skaven have some fun mechanics, fun units. Art, hello. But yeah, I'm planning some Tzeentch. I think we should be pretty close to having enough signups for a top 4 today, finally. It was a pretty big Creative Assembly stream too, by the way. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see the CA stream? Pretty hype. Pretty hype, I must say. Big Bird, yeah. Gonna be trying out a bunch of different stuff. Usually these try-hard streams, I do still like to show off some variety. Hey, Ice Knee, hello. Teleporting Stock Lord. Is that as in like the new person? You guys see the sick animations? Did you see 40K? Dude, the graphics department popped off, man. They kind of went crazy on that one. I must say, quite impressive. I just hope it looks as good on launch. That we get everything else we could wish for. Honestly, in terms of looks, CA is really good. Really good about that. Any large company will generally have some very good looking games. So, you know, that's to be expected, but dang 40K looks kind of nice. They talked about destructible terrain too. Being able to level a city. So they specifically mentioned for line of sight, which is like, wow. They also talked about like difficulty stuff and how certain people in the community may or may not be continuously complaining about it. Obviously, it's not just me. I think if they folded to my whims, we would have a terrible game. But pretty hype. Boris? Daddy! Almost everything can be destroyed. Yo. I cannot wait. It's too bad I'm gonna be an old man by the time it comes out. I still doubt they're gonna release it this year. That would be kind of crazy. Nagash and 40K in 1 year would be insane. But what, they said they only just finished the graphics for the what's it, the pollution world, whatever it's called. Lots to look forward to. Lots to look forward to, man. It you know, the vibes of 40K, it looks like they really are putting in a lot of ideas into it, right? Like they're really shaking up the formula with this whole planet business. The campaign map is gonna be completely different. Battle maps or weird. The vibes was very similar, you know, like obviously it's a total war game. But yeah, I wonder how much they'll be changing it up. It would be really cool to see terrain make a bigger part. They didn't mention ghost units phasing through walls and how walls were not designed for that. There was not a single siege wall, right? In the 40k section of the stream. I swear, if they had like you know, your standard height wall for all Total War games there, I would be so sad. That's like basically the doomsday situation if they do that. Because it means they're just using the same system as before with all the jankiness and all the non-interactiveness that comes with it. But yeah, destructible terrain is a start. I just hope they do it well enough. Like, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, today I'm playing Tzeentch. We're gonna try out some nifty strategies. Hopefully this works. You were expecting much smaller squads? I think, what's it? Based off of like, you know, just PC limitations, I think squad sizes would probably be quite similar. Because, like, well, first of all, you want the scale. So having like super small squad sizes would kind of be weird for a Total War game. I know like on tabletop, obviously squad sizes are super small. But like if a unit of Marines is kind of like monstrous squad size, like 12, 16, then yeah, you would get like 120 to 200 squad sizes for most infantry, at least most chaff infantry. I just hope, you know, those maps, I will say, they do seem kind of big. So there's a little bit of a worry that they might have too large map syndrome again. Where they have these giant, beautiful maps with like only 1,000 people defending it. That would be problematic. But at the very least, there's a lot to be excited about. And hopefully we get the new Cathay stuff soon. Legendary hero for Cathay hype. Pretty good luck, have fun. Ogre pistols are basically Space Marines. Yeah, close enough. But yeah, like I could totally like it's squad size. They're basically using, you know, the Total War in terms of the battles. They're using very typical Total War stuff. In the campaign map, I think they're basically completely changing up everything. So I look forward to how that'll work. I think some campaign map changes are cool. In battle, oh man, dude. I just hope we can get some large battles. I just hope we can get some large enough battles. But that's just kind of a PC limitation. Alright, here we go. Game number 1 against Lizardmen. Big maps with fast vehicles. I can. Yo, okay, so they had a lot of like flying ships in the showcase. But if you can actually recruit the ships, then it doesn't make sense that you have like the flying ones just zooming around at 1,000,000 speed. So I get the feeling that they're just gonna remove that later. Like I think the maps will kind of be like this, where there's just not that much going on in the air. Cause like it would be like too noisy, right? It'd be a little too cluttered. Is that a tic-tac-toe? What a mad lad. Alright, we got tic-tac-toe alert. But yeah, there's like a little bit of that. Yeah, is he just gonna... Can I blue fire this guy? Show him who's boss. This is a Tzeentch kite build, by the way. Zarek special. But yeah, you just you get a lot of magic from these dudes. And then you just kite into infinity. Guy has roiling skies. I gotta be a little careful, but this is just great position for some change bringers. And the idea is you just have Kairos spamming out blue fire into the horizon as you slowly whittle down the enemy forces. Kairos has life leeching, so blue fire actually costs 3.5 winds of magic, which is insane. You see, this guy really doesn't like blue fire. Tic-tac-toe is not a very strong lord at all. And the Changebringer certainly will be quite painful. Look at him, he's kiting me. I just need one volley though, and then we can retreat and let our shields regenerate. As long as I can hold 1 point, I'm more than happy. Kairos getting staggered a bit. A little awkward, but he'll be just fine. We get another blue fire over here. I am made out of magic. I have infinity magic. And this is kind of the Tzeentch playbook. Very cheesy. They don't really have a whole lot of other options though. I wonder how are these guys gonna do. Oh, look at him. He's really respecting the Changebringers. Although their formation is not really getting set up very well. I think, is he over my... Wait, do these guys have skirmish mode on? Oh, please don't tell me that is so. If they have skirmish mode on, that's a massive misfill for my opponent. Because that means every time I walk towards them, they're gonna run away. No! Bro's goofing. Oh my gosh, no, you can't have skirmish mode on your infantry, bro. Oh my goodness, are they all on skirmish mode? No. No. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a massacre, people. It's gonna be a bloody massacre today. Yeah, I can actually just get them to all retreat from my Changebringers by moving Kairos here. Oh no. Well, that's gonna be rough. Tic-tac-toe is coming in. He's gonna be doing his bestest. He got too close with the blue fire to get work done. So that is pretty nice for him. Oh, he staggered from his own poison. Oh my god, is that an MLG play? I believe he just he self-staggered with his own range shots. So he stopped moving, staggered, and the stagger dodged the Bolt of Change. Because usually Bolt of Changes are really good at hitting. Yo, that's actually insane. That is one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. By the way, I love how he just mega buffed this guy. He gave him all the buffs, but now we're gonna die. I have to be a bit careful though. There are a lot of units here. My infantry was not made to fight such a force. We're definitely gonna need the Changebringers here to survive. I'm just gonna finish the job here on tic-tac-toe, and once I have air dominance, life should be good. And the blue fire cooks. Very nice. And that should hurt him enough for me to potentially get the victory here. There we go. Now I just need these guys to live. We're gonna have some Ripperdactyls show up, but unfortunately for my opponent, they kind of suck. Honestly, this game isn't played super well by me. But I think it's going to be good enough. So yeah, we're just gonna let the Ripperdactyls waste their charge on Kairos. Then I got the Sky Rays over here. They can get in. And now they're massacred. Very nice. This is pretty good so far. Ticket-wise, though, I am a little worried. I am a smidge worried ticket-wise, but as long as I hold this point, I'm good. I just need to start spamming the blues and use them to recapture points. Honestly, I feel like this Lizardmen build could actually been quite scary. That was a pretty nasty charge. I wasn't very ready for it. It's not like I have cavalry or anything. This build's kind of weird. It really relies on you farming value with Kairos. But if they ever go for like an infantry heavy build, I feel like it's a little awkward. It's a little awkward to actually get all your spells off and such. Like, just if if they just attack you, it can go so badly. Oh, hey, that's a relatively expensive unit. Don't mind if I do. Here we go. We'll get this guy raised. We'll just bully them. Changebringers. A candy summon. And this should be a fairly clean victory, but yeah. I feel like I did not play this Tzeentch game perfectly though. This could have been a little sketchy, though the fight went surprisingly well. I'm actually not sure what did that. Ripperdactyls got stomped. Yeah, Ripperdactyls kind of suck. If you are a fan of Ripperdactyls, I am sorry. Creative Assembly's never gonna buff them, I assure you. Dude, I have so much magic. I need a way to, like, magic dump. Because, yeah, if I'm just chilling like this, it's not enough. Sometimes, people go for the scribes. The blue scribes could be hilarious here. Give it a hard maybe. Yo, this is gonna be nasty. Right on top of their faces. But yeah, blue scribes can be pretty interesting. Oh, he's trying to run. Yeah, it's not gonna be enough though. Only one of them manages to escape. But yeah, they can be a nice source of a little extra poke. They're not as efficient as Kairos, but a lot of their spells can get a lot of work done. Maybe I'll try it, and we'll see how it goes. Tzeentch is definitely one of those factions that just has a ton of space to explore. They just have a bunch of different types of units. Like, I feel like Tzeentch has the most win conditions out of every faction. But they don't have any, like, core roster outside of Zongors. And that's kind of what makes them awkward. I will say, though, just blue fire sniping the Lord is certainly a good start. They do have one of the strongest lords, that's for sure. Man, he's been getting some money chain lightnings, by the way. Only 1300 value, though, nothing too crazy. And we're gonna see some cohort of Sotek. We'll just bog them down. And this battle is basically done.
I already agreed.
Yeah. Well, okay, so technically Ripperdactyls, if you have them fight just a big monster. So if you're just fighting a big monster with Ripperdactyls and nothing else in a vacuum, yes, they will absolutely crush it. But in multiplayer, it's kind of like, it's just too rare. For anyone who's played StarCraft before, or at least knows about scouts, think of them like scouts. Like, technically they're amazing anti-air, right? And they got everything you could possibly want. But you're never actually gonna really want to use them because they're expensive and there's ground units. And other flying units can just run away. So, like, I don't know. Although I will say scouts, the biggest problem is just that they're expensive. Ripperdactyls, well, I guess it's kind of similar. It's kind of similar in a few ways, yeah. But yeah, they just don't get that cost efficiency. Still like a proper, I don't know. I don't know, kind of hard to say. But yeah, generally speaking, I think there are many other factions or many other units that fit the bill. GG. That went pretty well. So I felt like I had more magic than I could spend. Kairos was farming though. Lots of value on him. I feel like I could try this build with a little bit more magic spending, like the blue scribes. Allies or enemies cast spells. So, like, if I'm just spamming blue fire on Kairos, I can also get the staff tomorrow. But this thing needs 25 seconds to get used up. And by then I can blue fire again. So I actually don't want to be spamming so hard. But yeah, blue scribes, maybe. Yeah, Toddy! He's here, Naldor! 25 stream streak, dang. Happy to have you here. This is pretty, yeah, I feel like, I wonder if I can go like a mobility kite instead of a more static build. Because mobile forces are much better at bouncing around. Oh boy, I'm up against Berserker. Yo, yo. Alright, now we have a very tough opponent. Also, I think we have enough signups now. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think today we can probably count it. We can probably count it for top as a tournament, as a proper tournament. Burning chariots, since they can fire in melee. They can 1v1 a chimera and win. The burning chariot of Tzeentch. That is pretty nifty. It is pretty nifty. I will say they are a little expensive. So if there's any support, I'm pretty sure they just start losing horribly. But I like the idea of them being able to 1v1 some chariots. I mean, some chimeras. Okay, and we're on border low landing. Okay. I'm Tzeentch. Alright, Berserk. How are we gonna do this? So border low landing's a very nice map for hiding. It's gonna be a little annoying. I also need to consider, how do I get my winds of magic? If I'm spamming exalted pinks, like they'll have a lot of magic gain. They got arcane mirth, but is there something slightly better I can do? Corn, dark elves, and dwarves. Interesting. All right, I'll play versus dark elves. Tzeentch is pretty good versus dark elves, right? Or am I just thinking wood elves? Let's see here. Yeah, I'll play versus dark elves. Pretty sure they're good here. Why isn't double caster more common on Tzeentch? Because they're so expensive, man. Empire can get a caster for like 300 gold, basically 350 gold. An iridescent horror with nothing costs 500. With Searing Doom, he costs 600. So like, just having a caster is already, just having another caster is already more expensive. And the range damage that they get is like not worth it at all. Plus, Tzeentch actually isn't one of the best spellcasting factions. High Elves are, they have the actual abilities to get extra magic. But Tzeentch doesn't, weirdly enough. Iridescent Horrors are no better than normal casters when it comes to gaining magic. So if you're wondering why Tzeentch, yeah, if you're wondering why they don't get a little bit more caster heavy, it's because they're not actually a magic faction. It's really weird, but yeah, they just have so little for that. Okay, so we're facing Dark Elves. I'm gonna need some 6 spells. Wand of Whimsy spam. What does Wand of Whimsy do? In single player, yeah, of course Tzeentch is amazing in single player. You know, there's like a ton of ways to get extra magic there. But yeah, really nothing in multiplayer. Okay, so how do I want to make my composition? Like, this is okay. There's a little bit of a worry when you're playing the Tzeentch. There's a little bit of a worry that you just get rushed in the face. There's a lot of factions that can just face rush you. And life will be miserable. Global melee attack boost, like the old Bonewood staff. Why does no one use it? Who has the Wand of Whimsy? Is it a campaign thing? Probably felt that Tzeentch should be too OP with easier access to Winds of Magic. You only need to make them as good at getting magic as the High Elves. High Elves have access to like 5 times the lores that Tzeentch has, and they can get extra magic gain and capacity by getting super cheap casters added. And High Elf magic spam is not even meta, so I do wonder. I do wonder what in the world is going on. Let's see, how do I want to finish this build? I have 600 gold left, a kind of an awkward amount. Dark Elves are kind of weird. Dark Elves are kind of weird to play against. I feel like I'm gonna get so face rushed. And I do not want that to happen. This is an okay situation though. It's an okay build. Sure. And then what? Then I get one of these. Ugh. Dude, I don't know how I feel about this build. Something's weird about this. Something's not right. Something's just kind of off, but I can't put my finger on exactly what I'm missing. But everything in my head is telling me I'm doing something terribly wrong. Sure. What, do I need a chariot? What am I missing? What am I missing, bro? Alright, let's do it. Did you bring Caster? I remember Caster. Yes, one cockatrice to slow the chariots. Why not 2? Remember the time Tzeentch was pretty good because they buffed the soul grinders? Oh yeah, the Tzeentch soul grinders had that one moment when they were kind of crazy for a second. Not much anymore though. The cultist has Wand of Whimsy. Ah. I think I remember that now. How long does it last? Honestly, it might be good on other factions. Like if you could get Wand of Whimsy on Beastmen. Tzeentch is so bad at melee fighting. There's yeah, not much reason to have that. Here's the build. So we got all the flavors of pinks over here. We're gonna have some shrieking sky rays. They're here to bully the infantry. We got Kairos with Flamestorm. We got the blue fire spam, extra magic. It's all good. One Changebringer in case my opponent is not ready for it. And actually more infantry. I want to go pretty hard on infantry. Because then I can use my Centaurs defensively. And they should be able to clean up everyone trying to dive my back line. That's the rough idea of the build today. And we'll see how well it does. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, nice. Yeah, we got enough signups. Barely. But yeah, I'm really hoping I can get some money Tzeentch Firestorms with the Gaze of Fate. You can also skip the Firestorm and just spam Blue Fire until you have Stormfire. Storm of Fire is really good. because you don't have to burn 15 winds of magic, and you can keep spamming abilities. We're gonna see a fairly okay, Dark Rider heavy composition. There's a lot of Dark Rider crossbows. Sure. A Scourge Runner chariot. All right. And immediately I'm just gonna chuck out a blue fire, because Kairos gotta get working. Then what we do is I start spamming these guys. That's gonna be a nasty volley. Gonna be able to mostly dodge, but it still hurts a little bit. He's gonna post up, but I should be okay. Ooh, okay, decent dodge. Now Berserk is going for capture points very quickly. Oh, all right, there we go. I just have to dodge at the same time, kind of difficult. Now I know I have an infantry advantage right now, and blue fire is gonna hurt a lot. Forsaken can kind of dodge, regain the shields. We can definitely get this point, but they're doing a good job just kind of stalling me from getting capture points. That's okay though, as long as my composition stays strong and my trading is good. It should be rather painful. Blues are just in general a big old pain in the butt. And because it's Dark Riders here, I can just pull these guys back. We should be able to secure the middle. And it seems like they're also going for the long con. Interesting that we see the Scourge Runners moving up though. Don't know what's going on there. So we're just gonna bully them a bit. Gonna blue fire them. Why not? Unfortunately, some of my guys are having trouble getting line of sight, but that's okay. Yeah, that was a pretty weak net. It did not get much damage at all there, actually. Now you can see he's just dodging away. Very unfortunate. Now I do still have a double cap. That's still really good for me, but slight misplays like that are going to be rough because of how dependent I am on those nets landing well. Still doing all right though, relatively. Can bully these guys. I'm not really worried about the spears. I'm worried about everything else. And overall, the trading is not too bad. I've mostly taken shield damage. That's the most important thing. As long as I keep that up, I'm okay. And I certainly have enough capture weight here to continue chilling in this location. We just gotta, yeah, just really hunker down and not let go. I have lots of magic, which is good. I don't know where their lord is, though. That part's a little weird. But the Scourge Runner shouldn't be able to do much. So even though I didn't do a lot of damage to them, I think we're still okay. I might just blue fire them because they're here. With Kairos, you want to spam blue fire as much as possible. Nice. And there's the Lord, Supreme Sorceress of Malkoths. Okay. Fine by me. Nothing too crazy there. I'm okay burning a little bit of ammunition here just for that chip damage. I think that's worth. There is a big cav core in the trees that we have to be wary of. But by no means are they the end of the world. Let's just keep up the spell spam. There we go. Okay. And, I'll just hide back over here again. Ooh, using the hills though to dodge that shot. Very nice. Impressive indeed. Where's the army though? Like, yeah, okay. There's gonna be a lot of Dark Riders. But is that it? Just a bunch of Dark Riders? Dark Riders ain't that bad. Okay, should be able to get another good blue fire over here. Blue fire one-shots these guys pretty hard. I think we're winning the trading war at least. Which makes you really wonder what Berserk has planned for me, because if I keep trading like this, it's just terrible for him. I'm getting so much value off the blue fire. I don't know, man. It's gonna be a little sus. I can summon Centaurs here if I really want to. Kairos with the dodges, with the jukes. Just gonna chuck a blue fire on these guys. Like, obviously they want to build up, but like, look at that value, man. Dude, Kairos is farming. Kairos is just ultra farming right now. Okay, and we're gonna see some Corsairs. It's fairly normal. At some point I'll be able to get Changebringers in here too, which will be very bad for my opponent. Kairos definitely wants to chuck out more spells on him. I might even be able to chuck out a random Stormfire out. But yeah, I've been able to get my army abilities out. We're able to get a lot of poking down. I really don't know if this works because my army composition here is doing just fine. That hurts pretty bad. I don't know if she's going to cast Melkoths here. Maybe he's saving up a ton of magic. I don't know. But that's going to hurt. Another quarter HP gone on those units. And yeah, it seems like it's just going to be a big build-up. Well, okay, I think we're going to get the Changebringers now then. Put a little bit of pressure on them. Force him forwards, mayhaps. Forsaken can just back up. Chill. This Lord might even be a little overextended. I don't know. Okay, we got Changebringers in here. Lord's getting a little bullied. Oh, she's cycling around though. She wants to keep my guys pinned. All right. Still though, this is going very badly for Berserk. As long as I can stand my ground here, I am doing just fine. Kairos has just worn down like this entire army. I've been able to get a ton of army abilities off. Just when the fight gets started, I have to make sure I don't lose this point, and then I'm good. Single Manticore is not going to be a problem. Bunch of Cold One Knights and a Medusa. Okay. Sure, sure. I still feel fine. I can actually push him back a little bit over here. Okay, we have some harpies. Sure, sure. How are these Changebringers gonna do though? Just a little bit of poke damage. But yeah, so there is some anti-air for the Dark Elves. I guess that will help them out just a smidge. No point netting those guys again. And I presume the big fight will begin soon. Now, my units crumble, which is very, very good for me. Because it means I can resummon them. So I really do wonder how this is going to pan out. That's going to be a nasty net. Wombo combo. Ooh, the harpies! No, dude, he's getting wrecked. Yeah, on that front, that's pretty bad. So the harpies, super expensive, are now gone. Yeah, as long as I don't lose this point, I'm good. So I just need to move up a little bit. Just to really make sure we don't lose it. Gonna get our Changebringers in here. Have to be a little careful about the Medusa. There's honestly not a whole lot I can do about her. But that is okay. Oh my goodness. Dude, the Changebringers are massacring those Dark Riders. It says the value trading is good for my opponent though, but I am a little bit skeptical. Let's get these guys in. Let's actually just, yeah, completely land over there. Bring in the Liars of Death. And we will see how this pans out. Color me a little skeptical though. As long as you can actually hold this, I'm okay. I have lots of cavalry at my disposal here to get work done. I can chuck this out. Burn all of their faces off. I got some Forsaken over here. Very nice. Centaur's gonna be bullying a lot. That's a good amount of damage. Let's whoop. Do that. How's Kairos doing? He should be able to tear out some of those guys. Centaurs are doing good. I do have to worry about actually resummoning dudes as soon as possible, but I think I'll be okay. As long as I don't lose this point, I'm happy. But I really just have so much magic, don't I? Passive finally triggers. Took it long enough. It actually took a really long time to trigger. But you can really just feel how worn down the Dark Elf formation is. They actually just have so little to bring to bear here. Flamers, or yeah, my flying flamethrowers are doing really well. Value trading still says it's even, but that's a lie, obviously. As we've been getting a lot of value that typically isn't tracked properly. And the Centaurs, as expected, when they are defensive, they do really good. We didn't lose this point, which is very important. And we didn't lose this point, which is huge. And then as long as these flamethrowers survive, I'm happy. Manticore is going to be doing its bestest, but these guys already got their value. Hell, even if they disintegrate, it might even be better for me. Because it means I can resummon them. Even these guys didn't die either. Oh my goodness, bro. I think you can't really out-kite the Tzeentch in this situation. I'm actually, it's kind of hard to micro this though. There are a lot of units. Jeez, that scream ability is huge though. And okay, nice. We're finally getting a few units. We can desummon. Very good. But yeah, there was no shot that they were actually going to punch into this formation. I like barely lost anything, man. Meanwhile, the Dark Elves are struggling to even resummon. And I'm going to have another Storm of Fire soon too. Insane. And now I have a late game of spamming out all the most expensive units ever. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Dude, there's like nothing left. I think they're all busy routing off the battlefield. Either that or they totally forgot a bunch of units. It's really hard to say. I did lose most of my Centaurs though. So good on Berserk for managing to finish them off. But yeah, even if we see a whack load of infantry, there's no way. We would need truly an absurd amount of infantry coming onto the battlefield to make enough of a difference here. I'm not gonna Stormfire that. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it, man. I think I just need a couple Forsaken. They're gonna be overpriced, but whatever. I have a massive lead. And this really goes to show that you can counter build-ups. Also, yeah, Fury resummons are really good too. But yeah, you counter build-ups by having a little bit of skirmish. So if you just have a few units that can get value while they're building up, it softens up their army to the point where things are not going to go very well. GG, well played. Very decisive victory against Berserk. They're not really a Dark Elf player though, but that's how it be. GG, well played. Let's go ahead and check the values. I imagine Kairos would have some pretty crazy value. I didn't even need to use all its nets. I didn't feel like I was going at full throttle. This guy gave me infinite magic. That was pretty jokes. But yeah, the blues and the pinks, they're all really good. Kairos got 2,600. Really nice for how cheap he is. Changebringers paid for themselves. Amazing. That one volley on the Dark Riders in the woods was huge. And even the Furies did well. They chased off a bunch of cavalry. I don't even know if they got to a full army build up when I did. Medusa, 1,300. Medusa was really hard to deal with, but she couldn't have been brought in early, otherwise she would have gone blue fire to death. And that one cold one night I just deleted at the beginning. There was one cold one night I just completely destroyed with Kairos' abilities. Very nice. Blue scribes at some point. All right. Are Doom Knights any good? Pretty good, but not amazing. They get the job done. The value lies, dude. The value is so off. At one point, Berserk basically had no damage dealt to me, and I already killed off like a couple units worth of value, and it said it was even. Felt like that game was won by shields. Yeah, like that was basically Tzeentch's perfect scenario. We really maximize the value on the shields, far and beyond how much they usually get. Is this PvP? It is PvP, Polish Penguin. Sorry I didn't catch you earlier. You know more Warpstone YouTube channel? And if yes, will you ever be playing with them? I've seen more Warpstone, but that's about it. I've just seen them. I don't think I'll be playing with them, but you know, if I get invited, maybe. Berserk skirmishers were pointless. Well, you know, they had a point, just not against this build. This build was super well suited to kill off skirmisher-based armies, because you can't attack into it. There's too many blues and pinks, and then you're gonna get slowly kited. There's just there's just not a lot to do. On top of this map being very favored for dense infantry formations. For anyone who has not played on this map before, the capture points are actually surprisingly close. So you can kind of just box on your side of the map and you're good. Spawn Forsaken Wand of Whimsy. How long does it last again? 12 seconds, bro? You want me to cast a spell every 12 seconds? If I'm spamming Fireball and cascading Fire Cloak, that means I'm using 9 Winds of Magic every minute. Which is just doable, right? So if I'm just alternating between these two, I'll always have a plus 12 melee attack. Does that even matter, though? Does 12 melee attack make a Forsaken beat something that it shouldn't? Like, not really, right? Like, Zongors are still gonna get countered by Zongor counters even with 12 melee attack. It only matters if it's a very even fight. So maybe in like a Tzeentch mirror. But I don't know, I feel like most of the time we're getting kited. You just closed my YouTube stream to open me on Twitch? Why, what makes you feel dumb about that? Let me see if you messaged earlier. What's the coolest faction for you? And why is it Skaven? It's because Skaven have the underdog enjoyability for not having cavalry. And they have a million tools to deal with cavalry, but they all suck. They got all the cool monsters to deal with it. They got mobility to deal with the ranged, a bunch of artillery. And like 3/4 of this roster never sees the light of day. Kind of hard to skirmish lightly against Tzeentch when they have Protoss shields. Yeah, you need like the heavy kite. Like a Wood Elf player could do it a bit better. Like War Wagons could do it a bit better. No Thankful reveal. Rip. Thankful doesn't exist, people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was hoping they were gonna show off some Nagash stuff today, but no. But yeah, back to the stream. It's pretty sick. Dude, I'm actually quite excited for 40k. Yeah, destructible terrain, new map dynamics. If they're changing up the map that drastically, it means they're going to be reworking like the whole system, right? So like recruiting and all of that. And the thing is, doom stacking is still probably the best strategy. Having an army that can uptrade extremely well is just insane. Common quote I've heard recently in real life is that war is expensive. But if you doom stack, war is not very expensive anymore. Usually those armies are making you money rather than losing you money, because they don't take any attrition and they just back to back win massive battles and pillage everything. But even if we do still have that, you know, I think the multiplayer scene will be nice, even if they just copy the normal Warhammer format, the Total War format for battles. It's gonna be pretty good. And man, it looks so good. It looks very pretty. So hopefully there'll be a big audience for it. Fingers crossed. Yes, value does count shield damage, which is really weird. It probably leads to a lot of value inflation when you're fighting Tzeentch, because I don't know if killing an entire Zongor gets you 650 value or less. I don't know. It's just so broken, man. It's fine though, we'll live. Board a low landing again. Wow. Okay. Yo, Tzeentch. What you gonna do, Razak? I remember CA put up a post saying that they would be looking into fixing bugs more, but I don't know if they meant multiplayer bugs or campaign bugs. Honestly, I haven't noticed much of a change with their updates. Although they did have a few that kind of address stuff, but I guess we'll see. We'll wait and see. Hopefully there's an update soon with that teleporting lion person. Yo, that attack animation is gonna glitch out range units so hard. How do range units even attack when the unit is teleporting? It might make them more accurate than normal thrashing around, actually. But it could also lead to a lot of friendly fire. Bashiva teleport. Yo, can they like, is it just like an animation teleport, or do they actually have like true teleportation? Can they teleport on the campaign map? How does it work? Come on, Alexia. Let me hope. Let me hope, please. Beastmen, Corn, and Ogre Kingdoms. Beastmen 10,000%. I think Beastmen don't stand not a single chance against Tzeentch, man. Not a single chance, dude. The Beasties? Beastmen have a very, very particular weakness that we can exploit. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? Gonna have some cavalry. Dude, I seriously wish Tzeentch had more magic. Tzeentch has like no magic, bro. It's crazy. But anyways, yeah, if you want to beat Beastmen, any of you guys are, if you find yourself struggling versus the beasties, there's only really one thing you gotta do, and that's just have a counter to Slongors. You do that, you'll be totally fine. And also maybe a Centaur counter. Have a little bit that can deal with Centaurs. And then you'll be good. Does this work? Oh, and that's a perfect spend. How amazing. And I definitely want to load up on these ones. I think I can get one of these and maybe two of them if I'm feeling spicy. Actually, dude, yeah, this is just straight up abusive to Beastmen. There's like nothing they can do against this. One of these as always. Yeah, trying to think how Beastmen are supposed to beat this. This is a nasty build. I think we can lock it in. I have a caster, which is good. Don't forget your spellcaster when you're playing a Tzeentch. Yeah, it's kind of crazy though, actually. Wait, how much cheaper is Kairos? Man, dude, Kairos is like insanely cheap. CA really put a lot of value on stats. Jeez, Kairos can be so cheap. They can be so insanely cheap. Are you kidding me? This might just be a Kairos day, man. Kairos is just... they're just so much better than all other characters. Yeah, this is just amazing. Just never skip out on Kairos. Actually, one of the strongest lords in the entire game. It does mean I will have to finagle my money situation a bit more, but a small price to pay for the raw power that is the Fate Weaver. Tzeentch actually money spends pretty well, actually, if you swap Forsaken with Marauders. Very easy way to get rid of a little bit of monies. This looks like an amazing build. I love it. Let's do it. I'm ready. And hi, Gak. Ooh, thank you very much for the bounce up. Naldo wants me to squat. All right, I'm on it. For taking a faction that hates Nurgle. Don't most factions hate Nurgle? All that hamburger and bacon running around. I feel like all the Chaos factions should be favored into Beastmen. It just makes sense, right? You imagine if they had the tabletop rules where give them the tabletop rules where like this, not animosity, but what is it? It's just like hatred, right? Like dwarves just are stronger against greenskins. That would be such a lazy way to change balance though. It's like, this one matchup isn't looking very good. Let's just tune the units so they're specifically stronger in this one matchup. I don't know how I feel about those tabletop rules, but it's kind of fun. Feathered colored fiends, which would be a good cheap caster. Wait, Tzeentch is supposed to have other casters? Honestly, I feel like could be good. If they fix Locus of Conjuration, that could also do real well. Maybe. She has an ability that teleports in battle for real, like Dreadmaw. Dang. No more Lord sniping? What a ripoff. Wait, yeah, okay. So you're saying this lion. What are they called? But you telling me they can just teleport? They can just teleport onto your face? The thing is, Lord sniping is still kind of janky. Actually sticking to them is a little hard. Ready, good luck, have fun. But, I don't know, I guess if a Lord gets low. Depends on the cooldown, and of course their price. Teleporting is good, but it's not, like, insane. But with how annoying the Dreadmaw is, I'm sure it is, nothing to be scoffed at. Very similar build to last time, by the way. Beastmen are just weak to a lot of infantry. So when you outnumber the Beastmen, they start falling apart real fast because they don't have a lot of armor. So any amount of shooting is going to give them trouble. That's why you have so many range units. And as long as my infantry can block theirs, they're kind of screwed. And if they go for something more expensive, I got spells for that. I don't think that's a problem. 2-minute cooldown? Okay. Much longer than the Dreadmaw. Night Goblins also hated dwarves back. Yeah, you know, that'd be pretty funny though, like just a dwarf versus greenskin matchup. The lethality is just way higher in melee. Kind of cool. Tiger, Huh. Should be interesting. There's definitely some fun multiplayer shenanigans with that. But like, does it really open up that much? So compared to just like a flying lord, can they do stuff that flying lords can't? You usually can't just YOLO your lord anyways, because you get bogged down by cavalry and the like. Is that a Cygor? The Eye of Morslieb is here. Morker the Shadow gave, okay. So obviously I want to spam blue fire on that Cygor. It can be quite annoying. I do have the ability to dodge. One hit and all my shields are gone. Very important that we're careful about that. And I'm just going to look for maybe some Ungors. There they are. Alley-oop. That's a lot of damage. Gyros. That's going to be a bit more damage. This thing did not take a lot from the blue fire, though. Gonna chuck another boulder. Oh. And would you look at that? Micro. It's a thing. It does pretty good. The question is, are there going to be Changebringer counters? I don't know. Ah, there's some units on that point. Good to know. If I can kill the Eye of Morslieb, we're good. Oh no, a rock is coming on. No, I dodged it again. Oh man. And people complain about the campaign AI. If you think the campaign AI is dodging too much, and that's really annoying for you, trust me, it also happens in multiplayer. Good retarget though. And it lands. They killed 5 marauders. It only took them 1,000,000 boulders. Look at them trying to find cover now. Dude, this ain't good. This ain't good for the Beastmen. This is positively bad for them. Any of these guys have shields I can bully? Cygor can't hide. It's gonna try its best to line of sight Kairos. But now I'm going to be able to do this. Alley-oop. That's gonna be painful.
At your service.
Member, thank you very much for the membership. This tourney's kicking your butt. Oh no. And we dodge. Huzzah. Dude, this is so brutal, man. Opponents kind of getting wrecked. They do have the Buna for my Changebringers, though. Gotta be a little careful about that. But the value trading is certainly good. Ooh, that boulder. It got one of them. Alright, one Changebringer bites the dust. It's okay, though. We'll live. I just gotta start scooting up. Gotta get my Forsaken. Gotta keep the numbers high against the Beastmen. Ooh, that was a close miss. But yeah, I gotta keep the numbers high. Otherwise, they can't overwhelm your range, and then that's when you actually run into trouble. And that blue fire hurts a lot, though. Can I just kill the caster? What if I just kill the caster? It's one thing that Kairo's pretty good at doing. Oh, they finally landed a hit. That was quite painful, actually. I can't believe they've done this. So that's a giant. Okay. So not an Eden, just a giant. We can melt his face, though. Buna's not going to do that much. Ooh, with the rock, though. Yes, it will. It's going to be another great Shrieking Sky Ray attack, though. Can I keep these guys alive? That would be great if possible. I will say I am getting a lot of shields back, that's for sure. Okay, and they pop the net on the flyers. That's fine. Morker I can more or less ignore. I'll just kind of bully him with Kairos a little bit. I should be fine on that front. He does regen, which is a little annoying, but I think we're still good. There go the archers. Beastmen archers are not known for being very hardy. And then I think if I just focus fire this giant, I'm in a great position. Forgot to spend my money though, which is a little awkward. Do finally lose the Changebringers too, very unfortunate. But Morker has taken a decent amount of damage. With cycle charging, Kairos can absolutely kill the guy. I think that's what we're going to be aiming for today. I do have the capture points. And there's no need to get too feisty. That is a unit of chariots, though, that I gotta be worried about. Kairos does have that mass, though. We're gonna use that to hopefully stop the chariots from being too painful. They're gonna get a little bit of damage, but we're still okay. My boys are taking a little bit of heat. Do I have a counter to the chariots? I might not. That's a little awkward. So they're actually going to get a little bit of heat on me. It's not the end of the world, but not super pretty. That should be a decent pendulum, though. And you know what? If it's just the chariots that are giving me trouble, that's not the end of the world. I do have a Kairos net, too, if I have to. Morker is actually getting a little low from the cycle charging. Generating's good, but it is not a silver bullet. I think if I, just get a couple Furies here, I should be okay. So now we're going to see that, okay, so they're trying to capture the flank point. So I do have to worry about that. I do have a big fat giant that I gotta be wary of. We can net the chariot, though. And with the Furies, I can stop these dogs from being a problem. I think we're generally speaking fairly okay. Aside from this point being captured, I think I am, relatively okay. Especially because that giant's dying so hard. Let's see, where's the caster at? Caster, I might be able to bully. Let's actually just drop this over here. And then start dodging with the Forsaken. So they'll make it out in time. But everything else here should just die. Very nice. Let's see here. I do have a pendulum too. But yeah, that's a big volley. I have to be a little careful here though. Opponent is making this a little dicey. And okay, I think I can, I think I should get some Sky Rays here to support this area. Infantry fight is still going really well for me. Man, those chariots, though, are such a menace. But yeah, I just have such an infantry advantage. I think I'll be okay. Furies can definitely get in here and kill off those Centaurs. Morger will eventually die, I promise. But ticket-wise, I actually have to be a little wary. Let's actually not kill off that chariot, too. If it dies, that could actually be really bad for me. Because if it dies, then suddenly... Well, suddenly... I could just have to deal with another one. We don't want that. We definitely don't want that. So let's just chill. Let's net these guys. Hopefully we'll get them killed. Maybe a big fat pendulum over there. Then I can probably start pushing this far point. Just to make life ultra difficult for my opponent. It's a little tricksy. But we did kill off one of the Centaurs. Which is huge. This capture point is starting to go my way. We've basically cleared off the entire enemy front. And their caster is also dead. So I think we're going to win by army wipe. And that is totally fine by me. Kind of a slow burn victory. Kind of a slow burn victory, but I'll take it. Let's just, yeah, let's just finally get all the boys over here. Kairos can eventually kill Morker. I will say he has been a little bit of a menace, but today's the day he goes down. Just a couple dogs over there. Yeah, nice. Oh, Furies definitely have to chase off those guys. Where's the caster at? Caster's over there. We can just kill him. Oh, what the? Oh, he just turned that unit into spawn. What a guy. Well, at least the unit wasn't doing much, anyways. So we'll count as we'll count it as a sacrifice. Do I win on a 2-cap? I do. So I don't have to go for this point, but I might as well. Just gonna chuck out a fat, big old pendulum over there, and just enjoy the casual Tzeentch victories. This is just going very solid, I would say. You know, we're just chilling. Really, when your opponent has no units left, life is really quite good, isn't it? And that's just from the raw trading power of Tzeentch. We just kind of sat back, relaxed. Got 1 million value on Kairos. Got 1 million value on the Sky Rays. And dodged this poor guy. Now, they did get a lot of value by the end of the game, but I certainly made him work for it. And he could have gotten a lot more value if I wasn't careful. That doesn't do much versus Zongors. It has no armor piercing. Kind of my bad. Let's see here. I have a net, by the way. I'm waiting for a Centaur to get summoned, because then I can wreck shop. Fighting Morker ended up not being very useful too, I'm noticing, because he's not dying. The guy's just never gonna die ever, but that's okay. Yeah, fighting blues for days. He doesn't care. Do I want to just drop this like it's hot? Whoops. Now I'm gonna have to net them to actually make it hit. A little bit of a misplay, but hey, 600 gold is very good for me. Now, if I had to get a triple cap, this would actually be a little bit more awkward, because Tzeentch is extraordinarily bad at pushing. As you can see, you know, getting a little bit of value is totally fine, but actually pushing onto this point is taking forever, even though I have a rather large army advantage. You have to be a little careful about that part. Tzeentch is, you know, certainly a faction with many weaknesses. Is that blue fire gonna do it? Almost. I think I can terror out these guys. That shouldn't be too hard. With these gore herd, not a problem. I thankfully have 5 minutes to get here, and remember, we do win on a 2-cap. This is kind of just a stretch goal practice, essentially. Oh, Ungor's Spearman herd. All right. Ooh, and good counter charge on my Furies there with the Zongors. So they might even finish off those Furies. I will say my opponent is playing it out well. Look at that, even some infantry cycling. Very smart. Did he resummon the caster? He did. Okay, pretty crazy. But yeah, if I just capture this point for half a second, we're good. That means even if I've miscalculated and we don't win on a double cap, but we do, we definitely win on a double cap, it means that, yeah, it'll just ensure the victory. At least that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. Let's finally get them Forsaken in. Maybe weird charge these guys. Keep ignoring Morker. Dude, the guy don't die, man. Thankfully, we haven't needed to deal with the second chariot. That would have been real annoying. Oh, they're even dodging with Morker. Look at them go. Okay, my opponent's actually super locked in. Good to see. Good to see. You know what? Let's get the Shrieking Skyrays in here. I don't think I need a whole unit of Changebringers. But yeah, if they were able to hold on a little bit longer, I actually would have been in a little bit of a pickle, it turns out. Because I would have needed this triple cap. And I actually don't know if I would have the time to secure the point. Which is kind of a crazy thought, but it's true. I don't know if I would actually be able to secure it in time. Probably, since I have this infantry showing up and all these guys, but by no means a done deal. Tzeentch is actually so bad at... This is so bad at stealing points. And now he's gonna go here. I do get this point, though. There's no way, you know. Opponent's triple cap now. They are pretty screwed. Look at him. He's really scrapping for the points. There's no way he's gonna recapture any of these, though. Like, maybe he gets this, but he's gonna lose. The tickets don't line up, man. They just don't line up. He's bunaing my spears. He's summoning more dogs. He's doing his bestest. But at the end of the day, Tzeentch supremacy a little too good. I really should have finished the job on Morker, by the way. I think a Forsaken surround would have gone, though. But what can you do? Hopefully I can rout off this next dog unit before he gets the point. Looks like it's going to be a close one. Yeah, there we go. Point defended. Okay, so we actually... It wasn't that close at the end of the day. I could have gone the triple cap. We had such a value lead. There was basically no way they could have made it back. This is absolutely GG. Giant Bequispy, yeah. I feel like if they didn't go for the giant and they spammed more infantry, they could have held me up a lot longer. The dogs are an interesting play because Tzeentch actually doesn't have a lot of ways to deal with these cheap mobile doggos other than by spamming Furies. I will say Kairos was pretty fun. 3,000 value on him now, but that's just because the battle's going on for so long. But getting a fat pendulum on the infantry was certainly a joy. Look at these dogs. They're gonna line of sight me through the pillar. Will they get there in time, though? I'm gonna get a few volleys. Oh, but they break line of sight. Amazing dog play. Unfortunately for my opponent, though, tickets have run out, and that's gonna be GG. Nice. GG, well played. And another win for Tzeentch. Tzeentch showing that they are fairly strong. A weirdly low number of Centaurs, by the way, in this build. Going for chariots instead of Centaurs is actually really smart. The giants suck, though. 500 gold value is like nothing. I definitely should have had at least one Centaur to counter stuff like the chariots. I think when you're playing as Tzeentch, you should always do that. I did also misplay the Changebringers. I didn't expect the Buna to be so painful against them, even though I know that's a counter. But we got the caster snipe, and this is just not enough infantry to fight such an infantry heavy build. I think we mostly got by because of the build. And that's going to be another victory. Marauders went pretty hard too. I actually quite like the Marauders. When they're supported by Forsaken, they can actually fight fights that are better for them. And they're really good for body blocking and capture weight. Morker was really weird. He was kind of annoying, but he didn't bring a lot to the table. And he needed to get a caster. So he basically spent a lot of money on a guy that just sat around. But I guess the spawn summon was not bad. And Eye of Morseliab was surprisingly fairly value in the long run. But an Eye of Morseliab alone doesn't offset the Kairos value. And that's what did it. Hey, Drizzik, what's up? Spawn stops chariots. You guys really want me to go back to old meta. The ancient meta. Yeah, when Warhammer 3 just launched, every build looked kind of like this. Because there were like no shooty factions. But now that we have shooty factions, this just kind of sucks. And most melee factions have shooting now. But it is pretty fun. The idea is you reduce armor. So Forsaken do a lot more damage. They're insanely high base weapon strength. What's the best tournament to sign up for a newbie? I would say play ladder first until you're winning a lot of ladder games. If you're winning like 75% of your ladder games, you can sign up for a competitive tournament and actually do pretty well as long as you don't match into like super scary opponents. There are also intermediate tournaments that get hosted every now and again. Would recommend those too. And you can find all of those on Total Tavern. They'll be listed with the type of tournament they are. Got like a 50 to 60% win rate on ladder. Yeah, you can honestly keep bringing that up. But if you really want like a new player tournament, there are a few intermediate ones you can play. Like there's nothing wrong with joining it. No one is upset when a new player joins a tournament. So yeah, just go for it, really. Just be okay with losing. That's how competitive matchmaking works. If you're only winning, then you're just like the best player in the world by a large margin. So expect the losses. Oh yeah, there's some weekend tournaments too. Apparently there's a weekend new player tournament. I have not seen that one, but it's probably just because I don't look at tournaments on weekends. And yeah, some rules of thumb, by the way. Your lord should only have like 1 or 2 spells most. And you're just focusing on maximizing the value of the spells. Honestly, I would recommend you take 1 spell and get really good at maximizing value on it. Your caster should get 2,000 gold most of the time. If they don't get 2,000 gold by the end of a long match, it means you probably could find better magic. Because like honestly, the easiest thing you can do is just get a Melkoth's caster and use it on cavalry, and you'll probably get 2,000 gold. Don't take a lot of abilities either. If you do not know exactly how the ability is going to benefit you dramatically, don't take it. So like, look at this Staff of Change, right? Looks like, oh, okay, it's an explosion. It does some damage. That's pretty cool. But it has like some conditions, right? Yeah, it has some conditions. And it also costs 200 gold. So even if you do activate this, is it really going to kill half of the HP off a Marauder? Probably not, right? So don't take it. Take as few abilities as possible and focus on your army composition. Yeah, 1 spell's a lot easier to manage too. Then, yeah. I think you've already heard my spiel, but after that you take like 3 or 2 range units. And then your reinforcements is all mobility. What faction do you play, by the way? I can give you tips specifically for the faction. Honestly, having more people in the multiplayer scene is amazing. Sorry, just some adminning. All right. Staff of Change on Demons of Chaos. It's an execute that builds the army ability meter. Staff of Change. Ooh. Oh, I see. It builds up the army meter because it's your lord doing damage. Oh, that's kind of nifty. I don't play Demons of Chaos a lot, though. Honestly, it feels like it's so hard to get that army meter built up. You really need a good spellcaster lord for it. But like all the other demon factions have it so much better. They finally fixed the rogue idol bug last patch. Really? Yo, that's crazy. Rogue idol spam now? Is it meta? Druzina and double Lil Grom. He's got a Walmart Malachi buff. Oh, that's kind of funny. You're saying if you take a Druzina and you wombo it with Little Grom. Oh, it doesn't extend its range. It's just reload skill. If you're just sitting there rapid firing with Little Grom, I don't think you're doing it right. Little Grom is more of like a shoot and scoot artillery piece. So 10% more damage is not good. I was hoping it would give range and that would be some sick utility tech. But it one-shots units anyways, so it's really just a reload skill. And then you have to take a Druzina, which is just terrible. Costs 1,000 gold. You can get 2/3 of a frost worm for that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta do a coin flip. This side is Razak, and this one is them. Okay, the flip is done. All right. I had a giant coin, giant improv coin. All right. I know there's also ways to get coin flips online, but I think this is informal enough where it's okay. Don't take a lot of abilities sounds like a reason for an all abilities items generic Lord and Heroes tournament. Okay, all right. Who's the best generic Lord with all abilities? Honestly, it's kind of similar to the Changeling. The Changeling, the ones that are really good are the ones that don't have a lot of abilities or items. And, yeah, you'd kind of be looking for something similar. Tyel again! Yo! Dang, I faced him a lot, man. This reminding me of that time I was bullying Ponty for a while. Just like always running into them in tournaments. They get their revenge every now and then though. So that means no letting up. Lizardmen on Lost Temple of Sotek. Okay. This should be fun actually. This should be a fun one. How do I want to do my build? So if we're playing versus Lizardmen, it could be facing a bunch of Croxagores, a lot of infantry. A lot of skinks for sure. But what is the best solution? There's a lot of trees on this map, which makes Lord sniping much more difficult. So let's try something like this. This is just, yeah, it's just a fun build. Alternatively, I could try something like this. How expensive are we looking at? Relatively cheap. Sure, okay, all right. All right. This should be a fun build. Now, when you're playing Tzeentch, always make sure you have at least a couple Centaurs. Always make sure you have a couple Furies and the like. Ooh, money spending works out very well. But yeah, always make sure you have some Centaurs, some Furies. Always make sure you have a Changebringer. There's just going to be points in a match where it feels perfect to have Changebringers. Let's see here. What else? What else? You can't take Marauder Horsemen. I actually have not been running any Marauder Horsemen today. They're pretty good. Just a little expensive. I think if I'm facing Lizardmen, I'd rather do this. Sure. Yeah, it's an okay build. Now, there is something you gotta consider. And that's the fact that... I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Warriors of Tzeentch. I think they all suck. I think Chaos Warriors are terrible in domination. They don't even value trade super hard. And that's if they can get the fight that they want. Like, Chaos Warriors really do not... I don't know. Does anyone... There's a lot of people I face that run Chaos Warriors all the time. Severed Claw are hype. But yeah, does anyone have, like, wild success with those guys? I feel like they're just worse than Forsaken on so many levels. The only thing I can think of is if someone goes like Archer Kite and you really want the silver shields. Love the streams and that you're hosting tournaments. Quick question, do you have any interest in hosting modded tournaments? I would love to do an Anticity Balance mod eventually. Maybe after next patch, if I feel like CA is just not putting out enough updates. I would quite enjoy that. But modded factions, probably less so. Also, by the way, this is a good time to bring this up. But if anyone's interested in more multiplayer content, like actually just me talking about multiplayer or edited streams or what have you, highly recommend that link. I highly recommend the link. So that's my second channel, and that's where I'm going to be posting heavy multiplayer content. So that's kind of like my niche audience channel. Check it out. But yeah, Anticity Balance patches, like, you know, just like every 2 months I do like a big patch, and every month I'll do like a mini patch, mini adjustments. I don't know. But yeah, it's a repurposed old channel, but I plan to just basically spam multiplayer content on there, see how it does. Yeah, it's been around for a while. We're giving it some revival. It's just kind of been sitting around, but yeah, basically anytime I have thoughts about multiplayer, if I want to share builds or what have you, it's all going there. And I'm hoping I can use that to grow a bigger and better tournament scene. Also, by popular demand, I did go Forsaken spawn. Ready, good luck, have fun. But yeah, this is an old school composition, but it's a very strong fighty one. So the spawn, they reduce the armor. The Forsaken do 1,000,000 damage to no armor. It's very straightforward. I have more Forsaken in reserve, some Centaurs, and the idea is I can just fight my opponent. Now, if they decide to kite me, that's pretty rough, but I got the Sky Rays, I got some Gehenna's Golden Hounds. You can do pretty well. Necron channel. You can do pretty well. A lot of poking that can be done. How realistically do I feel it would be to set up a modded tournament? Oh, okay, I think I already answered that. All right, nice. But yeah, let's do it. Face me. Face me, my dude. And he's ready. Given the good luck, have fun. Let's do it. So once again, we are facing tic-tac-toe. Now I'm missing the fact that I don't have good old blue fire and just the hounds, but on the plus side, tic-tac-toe doesn't have much to do other than, I guess, hunt the sky rays. How does this go? So he's already activated Master of the Skies. Do I have to respect tic-tac-toe? Do I even have to respect the guy? I might not. I might just settle for, yeah, just the hard disrespect. And just say, you know what? What are you even gonna do? Ooh, the dodges. This guy's traumatized. Not enough, though. 200 gold value. This is lying. Never mind. 129. I guess, these bars, I think I rounded a little too hard. It's fine, though. So, my opponent's rotating. They want to go over here. Thankfully for me, though, this map is pretty close quarters in terms of points. So I really don't have to worry much. We just rotate over here and I'll be okay. And you gotta remember, I'm slowly getting my cooldowns up. Now, there are these Croxagores. Do I have a solution for them? I guess the Centaur of Tzeentch, the humble Centaur of Tzeentch is probably good enough. We'll just get them in here. Put these guys on one so they're a little easier to manage. But the idea is I can just body block all the ranged attacks with a couple of these guys. And then I'm comfortable. I'm also setting up so that we're fighting on my side of the battlefield, not my opponent's. I'm not going to be summoning in new units, but I feel like I'm getting an advantage just by waiting because they're not really putting a lot of pressure on me. There's no skirmishers or anything. This unit takes forever to use all of their ability charges too. So let's just move them in. I believe I can get a pretty nasty hit somewhere here. Oh my goodness, wait. If he misplays and overlaps those infantry, that would be bad. Master of the Skies is active. Oh, what a misplay though. Ouch. Big hit. Big hit. Overstacked the infantry. And they have been thoroughly punished for that. Sky Rays can just retreat now. They've already gone 400 gold worth of value. I can cycle charge with the Centaurs. And the Master of the Skies has barely tickled my flyers here. This is pretty bad. I'd say this is pretty bad. I don't know. There's a lot of just slow burn kite. I think not enough people are just face rushing Tzeentch. They're also not they're not bringing builds that face rush Tzeentch, but I really feel like if you're facing Tzeentch, you should just go for it, man. You can't just get slow burned like this. It's just gonna get worse and worse over time. And I'm only getting more and more tickets, which let me fight even more defensively later on in the battle. He's gonna dodge the golden hounds though. A little bit of repositioning, it's smart. But will it be enough? We have this Basildon taking some free pot shots. I'm still feeling pretty good though. Oh my goodness, no, not again. Not again. I'll chuck a golden hounds on that one. That's gonna hurt pretty bad. Golden hounds can do a lot of damage. That's gonna be a very nice shriek over there. So now we are at 550 value on these guys. And he's yet to use his own magic against me. So I'm feeling just dandy. Now I could get the change bringers, but obviously tic-tac-toe is here. We have some Colossadons too. But if I just don't bring in the flyers, I think we're good. Like, just don't bring in the counters, and then suddenly they've wasted a lot of money.
Lord Conjurer of Char.
I still have to be careful, though. Obviously, we've eked out some advantages. But if they take the main fight well enough, we still lose. Thankfully, I haven't taken any HP damage. And okay, we're just gonna let them come to my side of the battlefield. It's just a little bit more comfortable over here. He's gonna get the capture weight. That's fine. Let's do some of this. Another golden hounds to bully them a bit. And I'm going to go a little bit onto his side of the field, but I'm still fairly comfortable with that. I got my lord in here. I don't need much on this side, as my opponent doesn't have much there either. And I just have to be a little careful about the Colossedons, and I'll be okay. Kill off the Colossedons and life will be good. Here they come. They wanna take a fight somewhere. I can smell it. That's gonna be a great AoE. Very nice. Let's keep bullying them. And they've committed. So that's gonna be the end of the Colossedons. Getting charged at by my Centaurs. I have to babysit my Centaurs quite a bit to make sure we don't accidentally lose them. Like, that's chain lightning. You gotta be a little careful. But as long as I am decently careful here, I think we'll be okay. Keeping these Centaurs alive will be huge for the late game, especially because they have perfect vigor, they have the shield regen. They're a very high capacity unit in terms of what they can do. And we've already broken through the Lizardmen front line over there. These guys are just gonna straight up just back up. Very often you don't want to be fighting your opponent on multiple fronts at the same time. You want to be fighting where you're strong and retreating where you're weak. Classic Sun Tzu. It sounds obvious, but people don't do it as often as they should. And this is going to set up a perfect situation now, because we're winning this. And now, because I've drawn them back, I've given myself way more time to set up a good Centaur charge. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. On top of another Gehenna's over here. Centaur charge coming in hot. And I should be able to value trade my way to victory here. Though times are still a little spicy. How are my Centaurs doing? Pretty good deeps. We did get one route over here. That's good. I think I want a little bit more support because my opponent's bringing in more support here. And I'll probably just save up for the Tzeentch army ability. You can see, though, Forsaken Spawn really do cook hard. How's my cavalry doing? Very nice. Very, very nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is just gonna be disastrous for him. He got drawn in so deep into my backfield. And you can see my tickets are still in the lead because of the early game. Very rough indeed. This may rout off those Croxagores too, which would truly be devastating. And a couple feral cold ones. Oh crap. I didn't get the Fury charge. It's okay though, they'll get the rear charge. This is slightly inefficient because those feral cold ones got the hit on me. But at the end of the day, we just have a massive advantage. And all those are stacking together to give us this very clean victory. A couple of Ripperdactyls are here, but everything's routing. Feral cold ones again murdered. What just happened? Oh, he's desummoning these guys, I see. Let's see, what do we want? Well, feral cold ones are dying pretty hard. Can I kill, Can I kill this guy? Can I kill Tic-Tac-Toe? I might be able to. He is slightly exposed. And slightly exposed is all you really need. Ooh, actually, Shrieking Skyray should do well versus Rippers because they're anti-infantry. But yeah, I'm just going to use my Centaurs here. They're pretty good. Big monster can't do anything because there's spawn everywhere. And this is one of those situations where you finally get the Changebringers. Just final deal breakers to end the game when you already have air supremacy. Tic-tac-toe is off of the battlefield.
Lord Conjurer of Charge.
And I think we just go in for the final play. My opponent sees the writing on the wall, though. GG. Very nice. That went well. Croxagores? He demoted them from Boxagores to Croxagores. They still did really bad. Rev Crystal was healing, but I don't think it did much. Caster didn't get a lot of value. Forsaken Spawn are actually really good versus Magic. Dude, the Colossedon Hunters, man, I really think they should just not go for them. Maybe, I think you either have to go Kite, or you just have to go Full Rush. This is kind of just a normal build. But it's a normal build that loses to everything, because the range is not particularly strong, and the melee is not particularly strong. Lizardmen are not really built for that, unfortunately. You know, my losses are very low. Let's see here. Centaurs did really good. Turns out babysitting them will pay off. And overall, not bad. Yeah, just a solid game. But yeah, like honestly, I would just take like replace the Croxagores with double Stegodon against Tzeentch, and just double Stegodon rush it in with like a million Saurus. It still might not beat this build, but it can beat a lot of Tzeentch builds. He got tic-tac-toed. The poor guy, man. The poor guy. But alright, there's going to be a couple matches. Couple more matches being played, and then we will have a top 4, finally. After all these years. I just need to remember the command that increases the wins by 1. What's a general tip for Lizardmen? Always have a Salamander hunting pack in reserve. That is one of your strongest range units, and if you keep it alive, you can just straight up win. I think that's probably the most impactful change for most Lizardmen players. You see Zarix always run the Salamander hunting packs. And then probably lean heavier into Kite most of the time. Just take like 6 skirmishers. And don't be afraid to take a couple monsters. Like, I think Stegodons can be really annoying versus some factions. Not all factions, but they're really good. Let's see here. You can honestly, there's some Shredder of Lustria builds that do really well, but for general advice, like maybe like 50% Skinks, 50% Saurus, and like the ROR Croxagore. That one actually is pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. So I'm just looking for my bot command. Where is it? It should be somewhere here. Remove player, remove AFK player, set faction, add player, +1 win. Okay. Or no, it's all the way here? Where did I put it? What if I go to my bot and just type help? Will it tell me the commands? No, it's just telling me the ones I pre-programmed in. Dang it. Let's see here. Where is it at? Set faction, update leaderboard. It's got to be here somewhere. I swear I updated the bot. Extra wins. Exclamation mark extra wins. Found it. Just took me 50 years. How has the meta changed? Not by much. Cavalry is definitely a much bigger part of the meta than before. I think 2 years ago it was quite infantry heavy. But infantry got nerfed. Or more so, cavalry impact damage got buffed. So chariots are a little weaker. They don't really see play anymore. And most builds are actually not kitey. The meta, it was pretty kite heavy back when it was me, Zarix, and Danican. But with Berserk and Chosen on the field, a lot of people are going like just kind of normal looking builds. A lot of infantry, a lot of cavalry. Still very fast. So we're not going to like warrior spam. But yeah, definitely. Definitely it has changed a little bit. Okay, so I've given everyone +1 win. And then I guess I'll just wait till top 4. I'll be back in a quick second. Oh wait, was that my 4th win? I think that was my 4th win. I forgot to change my win-loss. Alley-oop. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, we back. Did my +1 wins command work? It did, hell yeah. I'm a developer. We did it. So that's pretty good. Looks like it's gonna be me, Von Karstein, Azek, and maybe Berserker? If Berserker beats Razak. If Mr. Razak wins, they'll be in top 4. Blue Scribes. Maybe I'll try out some Blue Scribes action. They're kind of weird though, man. Blue Scribes are not amazing. Is it gonna be season final soon? No idea. You gotta ask Turin. I don't have my own tournament series just yet. Too busy trying to pump out YouTube videos. Many of the big stompy units don't do well. I think it's because domination is just bad for them. And people really don't like it when they're good in land battle. So they end up just getting completely like... They might see some play in land battle and then none in domination. And there's not a whole lot of ways you can fix that. Unless you give them like capture weight or something. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the Swiss francs.
It was nice to participate for once. At least I got a 33% win rate.
Hell
got
yeah.
to go though. See ya. Underscore
Alright.
and milk.
Peace, peace. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that you were getting wrecked, but you gotta win. That's pretty solid, Sophie. People just bad at single entities. What do you mean by that? Can you find someone that's good at single entities? Because I don't make them work unless it's like the Shredder of Lustria build or the Frostworm build. I guess there's a few like single entity maxing builds, but they kind of have to be fast. You can do it. Yo, that would be so jokes if you just show up to a tournament and just start dominating. Just like completely break the meta. That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh, Lore of Life for Dark Elves. They have it canonically, right? Don't they also have it on tabletop? I'm just saying though, if they give Dark Elves Lore of Life, Tzeentch should have all the lores of Magic. And then CA will realize that Lore of Life is the only good lore of Magic. Not as much anymore, but it certainly enables the big stompy builds. I feel like they really should give Tzeentch access to more magic, at least more destruction magic. How can Tzeentch only have 2 lores of magic, man? That's so bad. All elves know all the common lores, yeah. Wasn't Kairos having healing very toxic? It was certainly very good. Was it very toxic though? I don't remember Tzeentch being like the destroyer of worlds. Maybe in land battle. But I don't know, just like, I don't know, just nerf some other stuff. Just nerf some other stuff, man. Because the healing alone is not the OP thing, right? It's maybe like Tzeentch has infinity regenerating shields, or the unit designs, you know, just being really hard to catch, or flying units in general being able to get essentially free trading off. Tzeentch should have more of the common lores. Yeah. I guess they have, they do have lore of fire. That's kind of nifty. I would say, yeah, lane battle has a few cases that really get screwy. You can go into really abusive types of kite. I don't think healing is like the craziest thing though. Like honestly, blue fire is kind of insane. Like Kairos having life leeching and blue fire is actually a little bonkers. Because you just have a multi-purpose damage spell and you can use it like 50 times a battle. Given an infinite amount of time, Kairos can destroy an entire army on his own. Now, in Conquest, there's capture points now, so, like, it works. I actually would really like to play a Conquest tournament again. I just still haven't been able to find the time. Tzeentch only had Lore of Tzeentch and Metal in Tabletop? Really? So it's a bonus that they have Lore of Fire? That's insane. Magic faction, my butt. Maybe this is how Tzeentch holds himself back, you know? If they were to use their full potential, all the factions would fall. Doesn't the Blue Scribes know, like, every spell in the universe? Shouldn't they be able to just use whatever magic Croak did to split the continents? And then they just become a worldwide threat? Okay, yeah, Tzeentch shields, they did get changed so they're not that abusive anymore. The time it takes for them to regen is quite low. It's kind of like a nifty thing you can do, but you can't really abuse it. But I do think there's a few, like, it's mostly because of the unit design. A lot of the units don't have that much HP, especially the skirmishers. And they also don't have that many shields either. But if you gave shields to, like, I feel like if you gave some shields to some cavalry and other factions, they just become insanely strong because you can't Melkoth them slowly. Though then again, maybe not. Maybe it's the kite. I don't know. Anyways, I don't think I think Tzeentch should still be buffed though. It's been a while since they've actually been meta. And the Tzeentch meta is not the end of the world now that they have some actual units. You choose a lore and you get a random spell to cast in tabletop for the Blue Scribes. That gives you a little bit more control than you have in game. It's interesting. By the way, Von Karstein and Azek have to finish their match and then the top 4 begins. It's gonna be me, Von Karstein, Azek, and Berserker. Fun. Oh, no, the loser of Von Karstein and Azek might not make it to top 4. They probably will, but maybe not. The blue scribes, one writes and one can't read. Wait, no, one writes and can't read. The other reads and has no idea what spells are. I feel like Tzeentch is literally just about the memes, man. The monkey's paw and genies is like so up Tzeentch's alley. Nice build, Trizik. They don't know Slan spells from way back because it's almost before the Chaos Gods. Really? Can you use banners in PvP? Technically, yes. Meaty Dangler is spreading false information. Let it be known. But you can use banners in PvP. Look at that. The Banner of Rage. No, it's only on select heroes and only select banners. So they're quite uncommon. But there actually are like a handful of units that can have banners. It's really rare though. Let me see if I can find another one. Does a cultist have a banner? I know there's some. Yeah, Banner of Unholy Victory. Look at that. Boom. It'd be cool if you could buy a banner off a hero and then add it to a unit. But there's some that would just be like super strong. Honestly, banners are way more interesting than chevrons though. You know what CA should do? When you can, instead of chevroning, right, you put enough money in and then you get banners. You get random banners when they enter the battle. Come on, think about it. Immortals banner. Honestly, that would be kind of nifty. Oh my gosh, yeah. Cavalry with Banner of Swiftness. There's a lot of unused banners in single player that would be so insane in multiplayer. And like, just you can just make the banner scale to the price of the unit. I feel like that honestly does a lot. And make it where you can only take like 2 banners or something. That way you don't have a whole army of bannered units. Or you're not just like always just stacking all your infantry with banners. But that would really shake things up. The thing is though, it doesn't do that much that adding new units wouldn't already do. And CA would have to rework like the UI entirely to do it. And if they have to rework all of the UI, I guess it's a little bit too much work for what it offers. Still a shame though. Let me know when done. Von Karstein? Who is this person? Why can't I search up their name? Where is their name? Do they exist? Sometimes people don't finish their match and then top 4 doesn't happen. I'm just making sure that works properly. Von Karstein. Why can't I message them? Did they not do DMs? Yeah, they don't. Oh, because it starts with CB. I see. Locus of Conjuration still borked. Let's see. So if I go into a... See, it did put out a few patches, so who knows really? Who knows even? So in previous patches, if I remember correctly, The way you set up this bug to get nigh infinite amounts of winds of magic is you need to fly over a bunch of units. You think it was fixed? Yeah, if it was fixed, that's amazing. Okay, so the top 4 message should show up soon. Hopefully the bot doesn't bork here. But yeah, I believe the way to get it to work insanely well is you have to do something like this. Oh crap, he's not on his little flying thing, but this should still work out okay. So basically you just spread it out over a ton of units. Oh my gosh, being on foot is so bad. But yeah, you see how it's hitting, it says it's hitting 5 units? What's the max? 3. So there you go, right? It's still pretty borked, and then immediately after you can just final transmutation at the very beginning of the battle. If he's flying and he hits more units, then you can double final transmutation overcast at the very beginning, which is kind of OP. So it got banned. And it's also very hard not to it's very hard not to abuse, because if you just cast it and there's some units on top of your lord and they leave the range and something enters, you just start getting like way more magic than you should. All right, but I'm going to be up against Azek's Empire on Whirling Maelstrom as Tzeentch. This should be fun. We got a top 4 going, people. +5 AP. Dude, the +5 AP banner is insanely strong. I think if you add that to any infantry unit, they just become crazy, right? Imagine adding that to a unit of spears. So they go from 20 damage base and 5 armor piercing to 20 damage base and 10 armor piercing. Jeez, that makes them so good. Just multi-purpose spear units. You just chuck it on Forsaken. I don't know. Chuck it on light cavalry, man. Then you have like some pretty decent armor piercing cavalry. I'm sure there's a few interesting tipping points too, where you give a unit just enough melee or weapon strength to one-shot infantry. That can be really nice. But alright, top 4 is a go. So we're up against Azek. And they just need a message back. Where you at, man? Maybe they stepped away from the PC for a second. Berserk is fighting von Karstein. So how do I best face Empire? If it's Whirling Maelstrom, it's a decent map for main tiding. I could just try to main tide the Empire. They do like their war wagons though. Empire is kind of tricksy. They actually have a lot of annoying stuff. Is it something that Kairos can't solve though? I feel like Kairos solves everything. When in doubt, just get Kairos. Let's see here. Sure, let's try this. So Empire, they can actually be really good versus Forsaken, but Zongors maybe less so. It's weird because Empire Spearmen have such high melee defense. You actually don't push through them very fast. I could try this. Is this a crazy idea to do here? Right here, right now? I guess there's not much Empire can do about it. So maybe this is sick. Alright, people. I may lose here. I do still think this build has a lot of teeth. But it is a little bit insane what I have cooked up. It's okay though. Insanity and Tzeentch rhyme together very well. At least Zongors will be really good at securing points. Do I want Forsaken versus Empire? Trying to think. If I'm dealing with a million spears, it's not bad, but if they're supported by ranged, the Forsaken can suffer quite a bit. Blues are less useful here. Empire is pretty good against them. It's very important that I have the right magic. Is this the build? Is this really the build? This feels like hella jank. There's probably going to be some artillery. Empire like to take some artillery too. This is certainly okay. It's not a terrible build. But it feels like it's missing the oomph that usually wins me. Let's see, if I'm playing Empire, what am I worried about? I'm worried about build-up strategies. But Tzeentch doesn't really do that. Honestly, this is probably fine, though. I think this is enough. Yeah. Empire should be fairly weak to this. Wand of Whimsy. It does come with Burning Head, which is good versus the Empire. Yeah, I did kill Kairos with wagons, but I think if you micro Kairos perfectly, he shouldn't die. War wagons are some of the harder units to dodge against, but... Oh man, it's just win, right? Oh my gosh, Sword of Cain versus Nemesis Crown tournament? That would be sick. I should set up a team tournament where like people are split into 2 teams and then they face against each other until one team runs out of players. Would that be interesting? I feel like that'd just be a normal tournament with fewer matches, so maybe not. Should really work on that balance mod. I think a balance, you know, a balance tournament would be real good. Right now, Turin's not hosting as many Warhammer tournaments as he's done before. I feel like there's a nice opening for someone to step in and become the great tournament host of Warhammer for all 12 players that are playing. I think after the patch. After the patch, maybe. Good guy versus bad guy tournament. Time for a coup. I think some people have done good guy, bad guy tournaments. Good guy, bad guy, and neutral. Or like, it's like order, destruction, and I forget the last one. 2v2 tournaments are hype, yeah. You missed Turin's casting. Yeah, he's I haven't spoken to him, so I don't know why he's not streaming as much Warhammer. But it's probably, I don't know. If I was in his position, I would be hella demoralized after putting so much time and effort into the scene, and there's not a lot of support on Creative Assembly's part. Viewership too takes a hit when it takes so long to get DLCs out, so it can be good to kind of branch out and do different things. It could just be Heroes of Might and Magic is new. Didn't that like come out kind of recently, or is it in like beta or something? Because if he's just enjoying a new game, nothing wrong with that. That's very typical for Turin. I may just be projecting my own thoughts about Warhammer. Oh yeah, he did say something about moving, right? He could just be busy. Man, I really do hope that DLC comes out soon, though. Imagine Cathay just coming into the meta with lions. Just a million lions. Teleporting Lord. Just killing everything. Imagine he adds monkey warriors. What if they just add the whole menagerie? Tigers? Dang it. Every time. Yes, tigers. Alright. You asked for it. We deliver. I have the blue scribes. Will they cook? My guess is a hard maybe. So what do the blue scribes bring to the table? So they always have the same spell loadout at the very beginning. But the spells you get afterwards are random. This is the end of Tzeentch, I believe. Now this initial spell loadout's not very good, mind you, because it's all buffs and debuffs. But that's okay. We're just gonna power them up with Kairos. Which one is the best one out of these? I could do a Plague of Rust. You get a guaranteed Plague of Rust out of them. What is this build? It's a spell spam build. You get loads of magic with Kairos. And if I'm using Arcane Surge and Blue Fire, I basically just have infinite wins. And then the blue scribes will give me some sick AoE spells to clear off infantry. Because I think that's what we're going to be running into. Though only 10 units. Maybe it's a wagon build. But the idea is that I will eventually run into whatever spell I need to counter what my opponent has. That's the goal. They have friends. Is that a Luminarch? That's a freaking Luminarch. Okay, that's dangerous. So a Luminarch can absolutely delete Kairos and the blue scribes alike if it ever hits them. Is this the counter to the spell spam build? Well, I'm gonna have a lot of infantry here to put some pressure on. I'll have some Furies and the like. I just have to outrange this little bad boy. Couple Pistoliers I can absolutely poke. It's, oh my gosh, come on Kairos, shoot faster. Hide. Hide, flee. Into the trees. Okay, we're good. Very nice. So Kairos, he does live to see another day. That's good. I think I just spam infantry. Luminarch builds are pretty bad versus just a lot of infantry, so I think this is good. Blue scribes have to book it though. Kairos also got to book it. Let's just check out yet another blue fire on the Pistoliers. Friends, I don't have to worry about much. I can even use my buff spells to wreck them. Which one's the best? I can, ooh. Kairos with anti-large. Insane. Pretty sick. We've gone a capture point. Nice. We're killing off a bunch of spears. Also nice. It's just Pistoliers, so not that bad. Oh, those are great swords. All right, gotta back it up from the great swords. But Kairos and crew are actually annihilating France right now. Wait a second. Here we go. Oh my gosh, dude. Kairos has 81 melee attack. I did not think I was gonna have spell amped here we go today, but that's how it goes. Well, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate for my boy France. He got absolutely wrecked. It's pretty jokes. And he's shattered. Yeah, he's gone, man. Oh, that's so nasty. That is straight nasty for sure. And then I can blade storm these great swords. That should mess him up pretty bad. Ouch! Oh, his flesh. It hurts. Alright, Blue Scribe's dead. Well, things were going good until he immediately one-shot my Blue Scribes. It's fine, I didn't have magic anyways. I didn't even have magic, dude. Dude, that's actually kind of crazy. He kind of wrecked the Blue Scribes. A little unfortunate, but we'll be okay. I have another plan. We can kill great swords with a little bit of Tzeentch trickery. I still have more blue fires too, and I can use that to debuff these guys. That's gonna kill off the great swords, hopefully. I do still have a double cap, and I can resummon the Blue Scribes if I really want to, though I don't think it's super needed. That should rout off the spears. That's a lot of shock damage. Very nice. What I think we're gonna do is actually just use Furies to shut down the Luminarch. Dude, it like one-shot the Blue Scribes though. That was kind of nasty. Definitely something you gotta be a little wary of. This is starting to go very south for my opponent though. He's just running out of units. At the end of the day, the Luminarch is a little bit of a meme as long as you just deny it value. This is very similar to when people were complaining about Doombolt. They're like, how do I deal with Doombolt? It like one-shots my lord. The answer is just stay away from it. Just outrange it. In this case, the Luminarch's a little bit more balanced because you can counter it by shutting it down by getting into melee with it. You can't do that with Doombolt. And you can also use hills, which makes it ultra bad. Because if I can deal with Doombolt, Luminarch ain't gonna do that much. I did still lose the Blue Scribe, so very unfortunate, but they did kill Frains. So that was pretty funny. I can't believe it. They just killed Frains. The mega here we go with this Shrieking Sky Rays into Frains insta-dies. I have never done such a crazy combo in my life. But it worked. And then after that, yeah. Empire just suck at rushing. So he tried rushing into my infantry and he just got crossfired into oblivion. Their cavalry is too slow to play backfield battles. Yeah. The cavalry is too slow for that. And their infantry's even slower. So these great swords barely even got into the fight. Dude, the Jade Wizard didn't do anything, man. I don't think he saved France at all. And this is a matchup where the Centaurs are really good. Just worked out really well. Yeah, man, a lot of money was dumped into this core, plus the frames. He should have ran Boris, though, after the announcement today. Should have ran Boris. Mork approves. Mork does not care from where the clumping ends. Blue Scribes can also get double hit by some missiles. Oh yeah, they got double hit there for sure. It's kind of like Chariots back in the day. Luminarch just did a million damage to them. They took a third hit though from something. They lost a lot of HP. I don't know if that was from crumbling or what. I do not know. Heroes of Might and Magic released today, really? Yeah, Exalted Pinks give more magic. So they have Arcane Mirth plus 20% power recharge. Really good if you want to go Spellkite shenanigans. Because that it just uses a ton of magic. Man, dude, that was crazy. That's a lot of melee attack. France folded instantly. So, but I think that match finished before Berserk even started theirs. So we get to chill. We get to chill for a bit. Maybe I can get myself another tournament win and take back my #1 position on the ladder. That would be very exciting indeed. Kind of want to see that again. Can I ask where you're based? I am Canadian. I am Canadian. I don't think I have a Canadian accent. But that's not really for me to decide. I've had people guess my accent a lot, and sometimes they're off. Although I don't know what accent I have. Pacific Coast. I am in Ontario, the GTA. I won't go closer than that though. Don't want to dox myself. All right, so just how much melee attack did I get, everyone? Let's take a look-see. So here comes the friends. Dude, he was so confident. He saw the blue scribes and Kairos. So first I gave Kairos bonus versus large 19. Enough to actually land hits consistently on friends. He's a little tired though. Then we get the surround. Shrieking Skyrays are just actually pretty decent anti-large killers. So they already do a lot to friends. That's with the charge bonus though. Honestly, France is almost dead before the spell even dropped. But yeah, there's the Galmaraz. And there's the Here We Go. Yeah, a 50 plus 50 melee attack. Here we go. So these Skyrays are hitting guaranteed. Every single one of their attacks is hitting. Despite that, the damage doesn't seem that much higher though. This is why buff spells aren't so crazy. Honestly, it wasn't actually the buffs that killed Franz at the end of the day, but we can pretend it was. Nifty little strategy we got there. Okay, yeah. What was that though? Dude, Luminarch just destroyed the blue scribes out of nowhere. I missed exactly how much damage it did, but what was that, man? Yo, greenskins with spell lamp. The more dancing shamans you have, the better it gets. How much does this do versus infantry? And does it hit my Zongors? I need to learn how to position this if I'm playing Tzeentch more often. I feel like it shouldn't hit too often on the edges. Does it hit more centrally or pretty even? Looks like it hits mostly central. You can see there's a lot of overlap and less around the edges. So yeah, it's probably better to have it overlap with your own infantry a little bit if you want to min-max. 2/3 of health and shield to 10% in Crumbling is wild with one shot. That's the Luminarch, man. If range units could actually shoot properly, the Luminarch would legitimately be one of the best units in the game. Unfortunately, he friendly fired his own Empire Knights. I was wondering where that damage came from. I thought my Exalted Pinks just cooked super hard, but no, the Luminarch shot them in the back. Pinks actually have fairly decent armor piercing, by the way. They're like crossbow units. It's nifty. You legit blinked and it was suddenly gone. Yeah, let's actually... I want to really examine where that last hit came from. Did it triple hit? Did it triple hit or what? What happened? You're also Canadian and in Ontario. You'd laugh if you saw me in public. Oh boy, please please do approach me if you want to. But I am an awkward person. Especially if I'm like out in public trying to do groceries. I'm like tired. I pour all my energy into streams. But yeah, IRL me. I'm just kind of there chilling. Keep to myself. You know, weirdly enough, I don't just sit at a computer and talk about Warhammer 24/7 in public. Though that would be pretty sick. But I always get worried though, you know, everyone says never meet your heroes. Dude, it shot the Empire Knights twice. That's so rough. But yeah, I want to be a hero that is worth meeting. But, yeah, I'm always worried someone's just gonna catch me at like a bad mood. I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna give them bad vibes and then they'll just feel bad for the rest of the day. All right, show me that Luminar kit. Here we go. So this did like 2,700 damage. So you can see the Luminar connects, does a first tick, does a second tick, and a third tick from the explosion damage, I think. Luminarch has it does have an explosion, right? Yeah, armor piercing explosive, 630, base explosive 270. So I think what happened was it double hit him and then the explosion hit. And that's what got the blue scribes dead. Crazy though, man. That's insane damage. You have to respect the Luminarch. It's a good thing I had some infantry. If you see me at Costco, you'll get me a poutine. Hell yeah. The poutine donation. Maybe it was the explosion that double hit. You'd have to like pay attention to the amount of damage it took. If anyone wants to sleuth that, maybe you can look at the damage that a Luminarch does and then kind of judge what the game was calculating. So if you look at the Luminarch, yeah, the main hit does like, excuse me, sorry. The main hit does a lot of damage, like 1,300. How much armor do the blue scribes have? I don't recall them having too much armor, but I might be wrong. They have 20, so the Luminarch should be doing effectively true damage to them. The last bit of damage was definitely not the main hit, because they didn't have enough HP. It would have just killed them. So I'm pretty sure it was the main Luminarch shot that hit twice. I don't think I've ever heard of explosion damage hitting twice. But yeah, you'd have to basically zoom in and see if they take about 1,200 damage twice. I think I said they had 2,800 HP, so it makes sense that the main shot hit twice and then explosive after. Explosion damage might taper off too, which is why it didn't do the full 800 or full 900 in this case. Does ammo being magic not add to the misery? It bypasses the physical resist of the blue scribes. They do have 20% phys res. That's all it does though. Being ordinary is above the bar. It's a funny thought. I don't know if that's actually true though. I'd have to like, I need a big data set of people. But I guess as long as I'm not a terrible person. The non-armor piercing explosion and the armor piercing explosion both count as different instances of damage. Really? There's no way. A double explosion hit? Because that would imply that all explosive hits are like that, and that doesn't seem right. There were 2 800 damage hits and 1 600 damage hit, with the last 200 being disintegration. It did get hit twice by the main hit. It's weird that it's 2 800 hits though, isn't it? Shouldn't it be hitting for way more? At least as listed, the Luminarch says it should do more damage. It should be hitting for at least 855. But for some reason, it just didn't do the main, damage. That's a little strange. Because the physical resist shouldn't be activating. So where's it coming from? What's wrong with the Luminarch? Are you telling me CA's been lying about the Luminarch damage this whole time? Is the tooltip wrong? Unbelievable. Actually, though, that's kind of weird. This game. Wait. If I just go here and I just go to Troll Country, are range units just like, do they just not make sense? Man, if you gave someone 1,000 years to look at the tooltips and try to figure out what the strongest units are in the game, they'd probably get it wrong. Let's see here. So let's just get the blue scribes. It definitely did only the piercing damage. Weird. Yeah, I mean, I if you're rounding, does that mean the Luminarch doesn't do base damage? Did the base damage not get tracked? We have to report another bug to CA. Let's see this thing. Eh? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this guy has 600 shields. So we're just gonna let the Luminarch fire. And there it goes. Gonna slow it down. Takes a first hit. The first hit for 1,800-ish. Which should be the right amount, right? That's 1,800. If you look at this thing, the Luminarch, it does, yeah, 1,300. Wait. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because then you also have the base damage. And then if I continue, are you gonna get a double hit? No double hit. Weird. How does where does the double hit come from? If I park these guys sideways, will that do it? And that one just deleted them. Okay. Maybe it's the depth. If you just tank from the front. Does that mean against the Luminarch, it's better to walk towards it? This reminds me of Hell Cannon tech. People would figure out crazy ways to dodge Hell Cannons. That time, I was not moving away that time, and it definitely hit. Well, actually, no, it hit for about the same. Wait, let's try again. I'm probably getting close to 1,000 years in gameplay. That is a lot of time. At the pace a lot of normal people play at, though, maybe. I have like almost 10,000 hours in this game. Or maybe I've already breached it, I don't know. Okay, so if I run away from the Luminarch, there's the first hit, there's the explosion. No, it didn't trigger. I got in the battle, I got a weird Luminarch hit, guys. Is that a bug that caused me to lose the game? Well, I didn't lose the game, but it's a bug. It's a rare bug. It's like Luminarch randomly crits. Is it the flanking shot that does it? Maybe it's like if I sit at the flanks and then it hits both scribes, you know? No, that one. Oh, what was I doing in the game? Maybe I have to be closer. Yo, this is crazy. How often does a Luminarch crit? Could be because 2 models on the disc. What if I land with them? If the Luminarch hits from above at like a high angle, will that do it? Okay, let's try getting close first. Same damage. That one did like 40 more damage. Well, I think it's because how armor works. So armor, it can high roll between 10% negation of base damage or 20%. at least for a unit with 20 armor. So if it high rolls, right, and it negates 20% of that missile damage, then yeah, you can have that. Maybe when you're sideways, the hitbox is long enough. Maybe sideways and moving, where you're not moving away from the impact. I'll try that. I'll try moving at it at a diagonal. When I was just normally moving away, it didn't seem to do as much. Yeah, iframes against the same projectile. Definitely there's something like that going on. Oh, what was that? What was that, bro? Holy moly. Dude, they got wrecked. They got absolutely annihilated. What was that? Sending that one to creative assembly. Bugs. I swear, this is like the 50th time they've tried to fix this bug. But it always comes back. Replays, autosave. Hopefully they don't use this to just like nerf the Luminarch. That would be very dumb. But you know, imagine you're playing like Warhammer 40k and this multi-hit issue is going on. That would be very annoying. You know, just hey, did my game crash? Wait, my game just crashed. Bro, what? What is going on? Rolled a crit. New engine, so likely not. I don't know how new. Like, if you actually look at the gameplay, it looks a lot like just normal Total War, like the in-battle stuff. I think they might have, like, changed some stuff, but, like, I don't know. I would need to see how the units move. It's such a niche unit. Yeah, I don't... Look, I just want them to fix the jank, alright? And then once the jank is fixed, I would love for them to buff the Luminarch. But this is like saying, you know... This is like saying we shouldn't patch up the flesh wound because there's a band-aid in the way, right? Like, you gotta take off the band-aid. It's gonna bleed a bit. Dang it, that's the wrong replay. Freaking hell, man. You clicked exit to Windows? I clicked exit to Windows? That's even worse. And it didn't get the replay? Oh my goodness. Well, hey, at least it's my bad. I can live with that. But yeah, I don't know how, like, if they're actually building the entire engine from scratch for 40k. Personally, I'd be really surprised if they did it completely from scratch. All right, let's see if I can just replicate it real quick. Nope. Oh my gosh, I click exit to Windows. I'm a noob. Does it not say replay if you click exit to Windows? That's kind of crazy. How far behind are Tomb Kings? They're actually quite good. They have there's a new build for them that's making them a little bit more meta nowadays. Yeah, I was at a slight angle when I got hit. That one did less damage. Weird. Did I like accidentally dodge the explosion? Luminarch rolled a crit miss. You meant campaign? It really depends on what you're looking for, right? Like Tomb Kings have a lot of cool features. Okay, there we go. That'll do. Well, not as extreme, but that'll do. All right, save replay. But yeah, they have a lot of interesting features. They're just a little weaker. But like, it really depends on what you're looking for, right? If you just want a strong faction. So like, here's a crazy thing. People actually associate fun with just how OP factions are. A lot of the time. But like, Wurzag has almost nothing going on. But if you spam Savage Orcs, you can totally just waffle stomp a campaign. And like, no one's, well, you know, I guess people do talk about how greenskins are outdated though, but there's like a few factions. If I can, oh, you can have like, I don't know, the Changeling. The Changeling's technically not out of date, but they're just super OP and people don't have fun with the Changeling. You know, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong. But as far as Tomb Kings are concerned, I would say people, anyone who says Tomb Kings are like super out of date. No, like the faction's totally serviceable. They're just not a super strong faction in campaign. So like lower the difficulty if that bothers you, or enjoy the challenge, I guess. But yeah, like they just have a different mechanics. The faction roster is good though. There's some interesting mechanics to play around with. They're definitely more up to date than many of the factions in the game. Gelter is super OP and kind of fun. Yeah. I will say, just completely super OP campaigns. I think they do have a good place in the game, but they should not be so common. Right now, Warhammer only has one difficulty mode. They did mention it, though, in the stream that they did today. They did mention in stream that, you know, they've heard our complaints about the game being too easy and the early game being better, being more fun than the late game. It's a very common thing, especially from people who've played the game for a while. So fingers crossed, I'll use my influence on Creative Assembly. Saltec, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Bretonia deserves more content. I swear, I should do a thing where I just turn off the names of people who are messaging and see if I can figure out where Pope Patty is. I feel like that would be quite fun. Right, you know, nothing wrong with liking Bretonia. Yo, if you had to add a Bretonian unit, what unit does this roster deserve? I'm really interested. Do you think they could use another cavalry unit? Do you think they could use another archer unit? What about an archer variant? Peasant bowmen? Slightly magical arrows, fey arrows. Gives them magic attacks. A grail saurian. It's a grail relic on a dread saurian. And because it's so high up, this thing has 200-meter range. You want a greenskins DLC? A single monster? Single monster for Bretonia? What if it's a Jabber Scythe? Horses riding other horses. Peasant bowmen, starfire shafts. Now we're talking. All right, I like where this is going. Foot knights. Okay, that is actually the most reasonable answer. But dude, starfire shaft, peasant bowmen. Holy, holy, that would be crazy. But yeah, foot knights would actually be really cool. Just having like a normal knight unit. It's kind of weird that they don't have that. Just dismounted cavalry. You know, just give them a good amount of armor. Here's the thing though, foot squires are already really close to foot knights. But I guess like, yeah, because most of these guys, like a knight of the realm has 100 armor, a foot squire has 80. So I guess you could have a 100 armor foot squire with more leadership. So basically just like Knights of the Realm stats. Plus, it's a foot squire with plus 30 armor, plus 5 leadership. Some slightly better stats. Yeah. They exist in Warhammer the Old World. Dang. Loch Ness Monster for Petonia. Love where you're going, Thor. Apparently there's some lag. Berserk's been lagging a lot lately. It's not with everyone. It's just a regional thing, I think, but it's very unfortunate. Dismounted cavalry. I say that because a lot of people have been asking for a dismount option for cavalry. That would be very funny to dismount cavalry as Petonia. Royal archers? Do they have royal archers? Peasant cavalry? They got peasant cavalry. What are you talking about? Aspiring champion style foot knights. I feel like a Grail Guardian infantry would be kind of cool, but it'd be really weird not having them on knights. Like, why would they not be on cavalry? You know, they're Grail Knights, they're Grail Guardians, right? Like, obviously, they're gonna be on a horse if they could. You should have a thing where when you kill the horse, they just get up and start fighting. Have it like a 2-phase battle. Just straight up like Elden Ring boss. Oh, that would be sick. That would be terrifying. Imagine you kill a Grail Guardian unit and then you just have you have unmounted Grail Guardians just beating the crap out of your halberds because they're gonna have 1,000,000 melee defense. Yeah, that'd be sick. I don't know how that'd work though, because then the unit would have some cavalry and some infantry. Village idiot unit. Peasants, but they tickle the enemy. Giving minus 24 melee defense? That would be like one of the best units in the game. That's great. That's Helma Discord values, man. Technically, Peasant Mob do have kind of a debuff. Oh, are they done? Did they beat Berserk? I did not think it would happen, but they're in my lobby. Did they just beat Berserk? Dang, alright. Well, they're facing Tzeentch. And they've gone Tomb Kings, Norska, and Ogre Kingdoms. Norska's pretty rough. What are we on? Road to Talapine? Very big map. Wait, which Road to Talapine is this? The bad one. Yeah, we're playing the total, not the CA Road to Talapine. Are you kidding me? That's garbage. Tomb Kings, Norska, and Ogre Kingdoms. I'll play versus... How bad are Tomb Kings here? Can I kill Tomb Kings? I think Tomb Kings wreck me. Pretty sure Tomb Kings wreck me. I can play versus Ogre Kingdoms. Tzeentch versus Ogre Kingdoms. Ogre Kingdoms, you kind of need strong infantry, though. You can get shot up pretty bad. It's kind of a nasty lineup they got going. I could play versus Tomb Kings. Dang, that's kind of a nasty lineup. I'll play versus Norska. Why not? I'm doing it. I'm playing Norska. Tzeentch versus Norska. This is a true test of Tzeentch. If I can beat Norska, that would actually be pretty spice. But they are no small foe. CB von Karstein. I have not played against them before. I've actually never played against them. So no idea how scary they will be. But if they can beat Berserk, they definitely got some chops. Double Burning Chariot. Doom Diver peasants? Is that what you're talking about? Feral peasants. Yeah, no, you're just describing Doom Divers. Except just they don't even get the wings. It's just peasants. The things you guys come up with. Alright, we're changing the banner so we can be cool. It's Norska. Gotta be real careful around Norska. They got the mobility. Legendary hero that's just a single entity peasant. Robin Hood? Yeah, I'd love to get a Robin Hood in game. Let's see here. What's Norska gonna do? They got the Bearmen. Got the Bearmen shenanigans. That's not the end of the world, though. It ain't the end of the world. How do you defeat the Norskins? This is it's an okay build. It's a very okay build. There's really not a lot going on here. Jeez, Norska's so good versus blues and pinks. That's why they're kind of scary. They got the chimeras going. Chimeras just delete everything, bro. Oh boy, you know, someone said the Burning Chariot 1v1's chimeras. What if I go for the Burning Chariot and then the Chimera just has to not move for a very long time, and then I'll win. I feel like a Burning Chariot here is just a crazy idea. I should just get like Doom Knights or something. Doom Knights with the surround on a Chimera are probably good enough. Although there's a chance you just get stomped by them, but the stat line's probably good enough. Sure. Trust me and take Burning Chariots. The thing is, like, the Chimera doesn't even have to fight the Burning Chariot. Like, what if they just don't fight the Burning Chariot? What does it do then? What if I have a completely uncontested Burning Chariot? I feel like I don't have much of an advantage if I do that. You can chase it? You can chase it into Marauder Horsemen and Javelins, or if it's just a Chimera in a vacuum and a Burning Chariot, maybe. It just seems like such an easy unit to lose. Maybe not in this high stakes of a game. Alright, I want to be #1 on ladder again. I could take one of these guys, but I don't really have the money for it. Let's just go for one of these. Oh, is this the build? Is this the build? Sure, why not? Let's just see what Norska brings. There's a few builds that I think do really well against me here, but should be okay. You thought Bretonnians are canonically bootlickers? Depends on what edition. I will say Warhammer lore has changed a lot over the years. Alright, Von Karstein. Grand Finals. Can I get a 6-0 with Tzeentch? You have a meme? You have a meme in 30 seconds? Hell yeah. Hates his fans confirmed by not taking Burning Chariot. So what I said, never meet your heroes. You just learned that I'm not a Burning Chariot enjoyer. I'm not a Nurgle enjoyer. How could you have known? Armor check. Armor check the Norskins. Everything has armor piercing. I could get armor check though. Tzeentch does not have a lot of AP. They have some very specific sources of AP, but that's about it. Petonia has a couple legendary heroes. Yo, I am doing a Tryharding series. Eventually, I will play Nurgle. I will eventually play Nurgle. With the Tryharding series, in my head, I need to actually do really well with the faction for it to count. So if I play Nurgle and I just get annihilated, I have to play them more. Alright, here we go. Let's see how this goes. So, some stealth pinks will do a lot here. We have the Shrieking Sky Rays as usual. I'm gonna go for the middle point, capture this one. I got my Marauder Horsemen. We got more cavalry, Changebringers in case of emergency. And it's just gonna be Kairos Kite. I think this is the only way I have a chance here. Hope that they don't take too many dudes and just Kairos Kite them. Bearmen are good, but they really let me get some sick kite action. They'll lose all agency, but on this map, it's not the best because I don't have a home point, so Bearman spam can definitely just triple cap me. And I think if I stay triple capped for even a little bit, we're kind of screwed. So I should fight for this point quite aggressively. Now using the pinks to shoot here will be good because I'll have to commit more forces and then maybe my cavalry can get this point. But if they just have Bearman on all points, it's pretty bad. So I am kind of happy to see that we don't have like a 15, 16, or even 18 stack of Norskins. I think it usually doesn't go that high, but yeah, this should be, I don't know, what if it's just a Lord and 12 Bearmen? I know that can be done. You can straight up just go the Lord and 12 Bearmen. But I don't know if the money works out if you do that. Immediately, we're going to see some Marauder Horsemen. We're going to see some Ice Wolves. Nothing too crazy. And a Chimera. Okay, that's good. This build should be pretty good at kiting out a Chimera, I think. I can save the Horsemen for a bit later. And then we're just going to spam the blue fire on the Kairos. I think I will just go for the Horsemen right now. Nothing really too wrong with that. We're gonna get our point captured. Very nice. There are Bearmen, but the Screamers can get a little bit of damage on them. Unless they stack up here. Pretty good AoE, honestly. That's not bad. If I can bully this horse... Is that a horse master? Horseman. Off the battlefield early, that certainly gets me a good advantage. Because they're at such high ammunition. That could be huge. There is a Dreadmaw. That's not the end of the world, but my horsemen will have to play pretty good keep away from it. I do have a fairly decent mobility advantage, though. A little bit of lag, but I think it's holding. A little Centaur charge. Great volley, though, from my boys. Very nice. Then we're going to check out a net on these guys and chuck that out. A little bit of bullying. If I can get them to overextend here, that's perfect. Gotta keep microing, though. I have to make sure this fight goes as well as humanly possible. But I think that little spell cast is real nasty. And there's just honestly not that much support here. in this area. Dreadmaw I can simply dodge, and Kairos can play keep away. By keeping the Riders of the Mighty Serpent away, they don't get that big old leadership buff, and that's going to cause many of these guys to rout. And overall, I'd say this is okay, as long as I keep the Chimera away. That's a nasty Searing Doom, though. Ouch, bro. That's rough. Opponent counterpunches with a good amount of deeps. Kairos gonna have to dip from the Chimera. That Searing Doom really doing a number on me. But I do have more spell casting from the Sky Rays. I can enable my pinks to maybe get a little bit of work done. But I am triple cap now. Now this game has been quite heavy on the trading, so that's not too bad. Ooh, maybe a free pick here. Oh, very smart. Okay. Can I still catch him though? Centaurs are fast. They can get a little bit of nibbling. Not too bad. I just have to be careful about more spell casting. And the Bearmen are obviously going to be pushing in on me now. Now I can get a lot of damage from cycle charging. And these Exalteds are pretty nasty. So I think it ain't too bad. But the value trading's not very good for me. In a build like this, you want the value trading to be exquisite. And right now, it ain't too comfortable. A Bearman will still take a lot of damage. Chucks out a Rogue Searing Doom. Thankfully, mostly does shield damage. That's fairly good. But I am far from being in a comfortable position. Now, I do have Tzeentch's Firestorm. I can do some of those shenanigans. Maybe we can debate with a bit of a Kairos situation too. Dreadmaw's problematic, but maybe this is it. It's a decent catch. Hit up these guys, net them down. Freaking Sky Rays can get a little bit of damage too. I'll see what I can do versus that big flyer, but that's a massive bombardment. Very nice, very nice. I can probably get a free charge over here. Kairos is hopefully gonna live. He's actually getting beat up pretty bad. I really sent him into a sketchy fight. But if he lives, I'm okay. Caster's trying to kill Kairos, but that's not the best use of his time. This fight should be fairly advantage for me too, as it is mostly skirmishers. Good setup for the Searing Doom, but we caught it just in time. And then I can cycle charge that guy. And if Kairos gets a good enough blue fire here, maybe I have a chance. Pinks can definitely help out. And I have Furies. We've done pretty well in this fight. That blue fire was huge. I think we have an okay chance. I have a very okay chance. I have to route off these guys. Ooh, but it ain't looking that good. Caster's down at least though, so this fight's going okay. But everything's kind of a mosh pit right now. It ain't too pretty. And when you triple cap like this and it's just a fat mosh pit, that ain't exactly what you're looking for. Now this should still be okay. Oh geez, Kairos. He's gotta book it. We gotta book it. Run, Kairos, run. Net up. Okay, we got the net off. Kairos gonna live. And the pinks are doing good. We have capture weight. Very nice. Should be able to give a bit of a bait and switch here. I think they were on a move command. That's huge. Okay, all right. He's slowly running out of units. The age-old rule of Kairos never dies continues to hold true. Let's pull these guys back. Kairos can get a blue fire to kill off the caster, make sure he doesn't come back. Okay, Pink's holding out fairly well too, mind you. And the Furies, they do cook the Norscan Ice Wolves. Very nice. Okay, it's just the Chimera that It's just the Chimera. If I can just kill off that one Chimera, we actually have a pretty good chance of winning this. That's insane. I can't believe it. Kairos the Chad. Kairos the Undying. Kairos to screw your Lord Snipe attempts. 700 HP in a dream. He's still alive. Oh my gosh, this was a triumph. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. He actually lives. GG. Let's go, baby. Oh my gosh. That was a nail biter. I thought that initial fight was actually really sketchy. GG, well played. Oh, oh jeez. Oh my gosh. Overcast with them. Yeah, Shrieking Skyrays did really well. I actually shut down the Dreadmaw really effectively too. Chimera was definitely a menace. Not much I could do there. Oh, he had Sail. So every time I cast a spell, I was taking damage. I see. Sail's pretty interesting. Anti-Lord Snipe tech. But yeah. That one Searing Doom on my Centaurs almost threw the game. When challenge campaign, eventually. I'm sticking with this series for a bit, but I think some challenge campaigns next week will be good. I did get some good plays on the Kurgans. That was nice. Oh my goodness, bro. That was an insane match, though. I totally thought I was dead. But the pinks were really good. They actually killed the Dreadmaw. I think it unboarded a little too early on my skirmishers and it couldn't get a lot of work done. Furies did really well. We caught a few dogs, a few ice wolves out. And I got a massive army ability off. Just a huge army ability on all of his infantry. Oh my goodness. Surprisingly enough, the Bearmen weren't that scary. They were actually just quite slow. Oh man, I can't believe it. Yeah, the Tzeentch army ability caught 1,000,000 units. I think he didn't see it. Oh man. I'm really surprised we won that, honestly. I thought we were super dead. How did their skirmishers do? So Horse Masters got 335. I did shut down the skirmishers really well, yeah. The blue fire spam kind of cooking them. And we took some exquisite mobility engagements. I was just routing units back to back. Jeez, Kairos though. If Kairos died, I could have had a mass route. But I think the trading was just a little too fast for my opponent. Kind of a crazy build. Kind of a crazy build. Skyray's definitely cooked though. 1,440 value on this unit. This is probably the best unit on the entire roster. Oh man, well, there you go. GG, that's a win for me. Let me know when you give that tourney win. To me! That's right. I'm giving myself a tournament win today. Oh my goodness. What a crazy match. That was fun. Tzeentch, not a terrible faction. I don't think they're a world beater. I think Tzeentch absolutely can get wrecked. But if your opponent's not ready for it, they do good. Burning Chariot test? Sure, I'll end off on a Burning Chariot test. You're telling me this thing can beat a Chimera? I have to see for myself. You said it could beat a regiment of renowned Chimera. Color me skeptical. I will say, I probably just won because of that Tzeentch army ability killing everything. Alright, let's see this. Sent them back to land battle. Is that where they come from? Okay, so this is a regiment of renowned Chimera. It has a stupendous amount of HP. Burning Chariot though. Gets the first volley. Decent amount of damage. Apparently it shoots in melee. It's shooting at the enemy lord because it sucks. Can I have it focus the Chimera? Yeah, are you telling me if the burning chariot just accidentally focuses something other than the main target, it just gets absolutely massacred? Oh, Chimera's kind of janking. It doesn't even 1v1 the Chimera though. This thing's crushing it, man. He's even just face tanking a lot of the shots. Even if he took 2 more shots here, you have to kite him. Okay, yeah, no, that was I'm very happy I did not take a burning chariot. Even if you make it shoot perfectly, man, your opponent has to literally AFK with the Chimera for it to cook. Like, yeah, if they decide to chase and they don't dodge, if they're bad, maybe if you high roll, but for it to be a true counter, you need it to be consistently good. Thank you very much, Trizik, for the point, by the way. Yeah, the Chimera kind of crushed it. I think it could probably beat a normal Chimera, but then it's more expensive. I can beat a 1,500 gold unit with 1,600 gold. Wow. And even then, it's kind of variable. It's shooting the Lord on the ground was really bad. It's not the worst though. It certainly does a decent amount of damage to single entities, but not a counter. Show the leaderboard and Tzeentch win rate. Why is it bad? TotalTavern.com. Leaderboard. I should be number 1 on the leaderboard now, right? I am. Let's go. 87% win rate. 9 tournament wins. Huge. Stat wise, Tzeentch is 47% win rate. Actually, not that bad. Nice. Well, if it fails, it's not your fault. It's the game. Hey, at least you're not blaming me. I'll take it. I am gonna call it a day. It was a fun tournament run with all of y'alls. And I would like to, instead of raiding someone, send you guys to this channel. This is my second YouTube channel. If you want to see edited tournament streams or it's just the games, there is that. If you want to see some sick multiplayer content, I'll be publishing that too. Should be very exciting. And yeah, it's just gonna be all things multiplayer. So like that channel's more for my streams. This channel is gonna be more for, you know, the big videos, the big super edited videos. Should be fun. We back. How you been? Been doing great, man. Been doing great. Just subscribe. Thank you very much. But to all of y'all, peace out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you guys tomorrow for another tournament game. And then next week I will do some campaign, I promise. But alright. How do I end this? Hey, there we go. That's a good end screen.